Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the 2024 Major Series Rock and Roll 400 at virtual Richmond Raceway. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth tonight, the Grid Vision booth, by Sheldon Atkins. How are you, Sheldon?
Yeah, I'm good. Been excited for this for the past couple weeks since it was announced. Home sweet home for me. I know this track like the back of my hand, so really hyped to be calling 400 miles here at Richmond International.
Just out back, is it?
Just out back, about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from my house, depending on traffic.
Very good. Well, Richmond is a track that it looks like it's got plenty of history, and we're going to make some more here tonight. This race is going to throw us back a little bit. We're racing the Gen 4s tonight here around Richmond.
Yep, Gen 4s, the 2000s era race name, full 400 miles too. And I'm really excited to see how this thing goes. Let's hope we can keep it clean and keep it green long enough to get some good racing in.
Yep, that's going to be the situation. But the real situation are the standings in this major series before we get into the race. Let's take a look at how things stand. Christian Challoner, right there at the top of the list, 891 points, top of the standings. Ross Banfield and Dallas Pataska. Dallas Pataska's in the race tonight. Christian Challoner's in the race tonight. Have you been watching any of the keeping up with this? Any insight in any of the racers this evening?
Well, I've been the few races that I've had to cover on here has typically been a second split, so I haven't really been able to keep up with what's going on in the top split. But our first night here doing top split, pretty excited for that. But I do know Challoner, and I know that guy is a absolute rocket, has been for a long time. I've raced him here at Richmond before, back in the old Cup cars, and he was gone city all week, so kind of expecting the same.
All right. Well, take it away with your keys of the race for tonight.
Oh man, you got me just talking a bunch here. Well, I mean,
I do. I'm putting you on the spot.
Here we go. First and foremost, Richmond, it's a multi-groove track, but I've always found that the best way around here is to run the bottom. It's going to be a fight, especially in these cars, to get down there, because up there on that outside line, you get up in the gray, the back end comes around on you, you're liable to tank slap it. So you want to bring it down to the bottom. While you're down there, you want to focus on the drive off. Don't charge that corner. If you charge that entry to that corner, she's going to come around on you, and you're just going to kill yourself coming off. These straightaways are really hard to get onto, especially when the banking falls out from under you. So just focus on getting a good run off. Then, last of all, there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of carnage. It's a short track. These bumpers don't line up. You get into the back of somebody in front of you, you're going to lift them about 2 feet off the ground. One of the most important things tonight is going to be to avoid damage. It's an attrition race. So just sit there, be cautious, be courteous, try to keep it in one piece, and stay away from the wreckage.
All right, well, here come the picks. I am going to go ahead and pick the car with my name written on the front of it, the number 11, Benton Foster. It says Joe Donkey right there on the hood, so that's going to be my pick for tonight. How about you?
Well, I'm about to go with old Nick Kuhn, man. I've ran a lot of Xfinity short track stuff throughout the years, and any time that he shows up, man, he shuts it down for everybody. So.
And Derbyshire up in the booth. Looks like he's got the 78 Challenger. Top of the list. It's a good pick. Safe pick. And now we got the grid just about to get ready here. It looks like a beautiful evening, about 7 or 8 p.m. sim time, I think. Something like that. So the sun will be going down at Richmond as we get things going. Let's do the grid, though. First, in the pole position, it's Dallas Pataska. Second place, Ross Banfield. Third, you've got Justin Morton. Fourth, Trevor Veverovsky. Fifth, Nathan Dowd. Sixth, Robert Northway. Seventh, Daniel Stevens. Eighth, Samuel Harris. Ninth, Wayne Hutchinson. 10th, Joshua Wolf.
In 11th place, we got points leader Christian Challoner, followed by Brenton Foster in 12th. 13th is going to be Gavin Barber. With 14th position is going to be Ryan Steele. Running up the top 15 is going to be Travis Warling, followed by Brian Scribner in 16th. 17th is going to be Christian Abate, followed by Stephen Verweyen in 18th. 19th is going to be Brian McGreevy, and running out your top 20 is going to be William Fletcher.
And for the rest, we've got Joseph Holman in the 21st position. We have Robert Gamble in 22nd. Sebastian Jackson in 23rd, and in last place right now, but not least, Nick Kuhn in 24th.
Might be a strategy call.
Very good, and we got the grid on the roll. All eyes on the front here, the 023 of Dallas Pataska. Here on the inside, already looking hungry for it. Looking forward to an exciting race. Those keys of the race are going to come into play immediately. Turn 1 could be a disaster. We're going to have to wait and see.
I mean, I expect these guys are going to know, too, at the same time, man. We got 400 miles here. Let's be a little careful. Let's take care of each other here getting into the first one. At least I'm hoping.
I'm hoping, that's what iRacing is known for. It's known for having guys who don't try to win it on the first lap, but this is top split racing.
So we're off to a great start.
It is. This is top split racing, so let's go ahead and keep those fingers crossed.
Oh, look at that. I'd hate to be starting behind the 9. Look at his rear bumper.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Hang on. We're about to pan on it right here. That Fusion Dodge number 9 is throwing the big old FU to whoever's behind him. It's pretty solid.
Well, if you let that get under your skin, it's going to make it a tough run for the 400 miles that you've got to deal with it. But I hope that whoever's stuck back there isn't going to have to see it for long, and they make their way around. And that FU is, I guess that is the spirit of the race right now on that number 9. That's driven by Justin Morton. So Morton says FU to the 7 behind him, Nathan Dowd, but the pace car is off. The light is green, and the Rock and Roll 400 is rocking here at Richmond Raceway. First things first, Pataska down to the inside, setting the pace here. The 9, the FU of Morton pushing forward, but not able to get quite enough. The 777s of Ross Banfield, what a number, pushing for the second place spot as they try to string things out a little bit, looking for that bottom line, just like you said, Sheldon. They're trying to get things set up for a nice, easy drive into these first couple of laps, and so far, so good.
Pataska right now is stretching his muscles, stretching his legs a little bit, building a bit of a gap here, coming into turn 1 on lap 2. Pulling away from Ross Banfield in second place. But these guys here in the top 5 aren't really able to get away from each other. Morton, Vaversky, and Dowd are all nose to tail coming out turn 4 to bring us into lap 3.
Absolutely. They're nose to tail. There's not really a lot of gaining or passing going on at that position. A little bit further back in the pack, though, we can see there is some too wide going on here. Ryan Steele on the inside. He's blocking the 25 of Gavin Barber, Ryan Steele on the outside, Barber on the inside. Barber taking it down now, maintaining a little bit of speed, just enough to keep Ryan Steele back, but Steele is not giving it up. It looks like on the straight he's got him, but then we get into these turns at Richmond, and you've really got to hit those brakes or you're going to go flying into the wall.
Yeah, it's a nasty hit when you go up into that wall, too, here. You got a lot of time to think about how bad of a mistake you made when you mess up that corner entry here before you knock down that soft retaining wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And then once you're on the other side of that coin, if you're not in the wall and you put the gas down too hard, that straight rod in the back of the car is going to have so much torque in it that I was in the simulator earlier today, and just putting my foot down, the back end would just start to wobble. If you have so much power on that straightaway, it's just incredibly fun to drive, but it can bite you just as soon as you get control of it.
There's not a part of this track that doesn't lend itself to treachery. You're dead loose coming in. You're tight like you can't believe in center. And then coming out of the corner, it's a toss-up between whether you're going to knock down the fence on the outside or the inside.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's keep up with the front of the pack for a little bit. Taking a look, not really too much shuffling going on. Nathan Dowd has moved up from 5th to 4th position, but it's still Pataska's race right now. He's got to have about 6 car lengths ahead. The gap is 1.3 between him and Banfield, and things are looking pretty good going into the beginning of this race for Dallas Pataska.
So far, so good, but a long way to go still. A little bit further in the pack right now. There's a bit of a battle going on right behind Christian Abate with Verweyen and Warling. Verweyen getting the spot taken, not quite. Warling getting a really good run on the outside. They're going to be tight coming off turn 2. Warling's going to get the run down the back straightaway, though. A little bit of quarter panel contact.
Now it's just a matter of who's got the line. Where does the braking zone start between the two of them? If we look, it looks like the 8 machine of Verweyen was just a little bit slower on the brakes. That's keeping him back a little bit. Down to the inside goes the Christian Abate before the evil box car of Warling there. This battle is very interesting one. I'm kind of interested in seeing how it wraps up here.
Right now, both of these guys wearing their stuff up, trying to race each other. That outside line going to chew that right rear off. That inside line going to chew off the right front. Warling really good, though. Warling's doing a really good job, though, of being consistent. You see the 8 machine on the inside of Verweyen. He's really choppy on his brake inputs. You see him come in really fast and just about lock up the brakes, bring it to a slide, then get back into the gas pretty quick. I really think that's going to hurt him on the back end of this run.
Yeah, this is the kind of track that can absolutely chew up your tires if you let it. You start driving hard, you start trying to make up places, or even battling on the regular. If you're battling through these corners and trying to keep up with someone, you're going to chew up this rubber. And we've got a long way to go. We've got several pit stops ahead. The strategies are going to be changing for everyone. We got someone down into the grass there. Down into the grass goes Verweyen. He just sort of dipped.
That's what I was talking about. He was he's doing what he can right now to try and get that spot, but you cannot be that aggressive with your inputs, not here at Richmond.
Abate just makes contact with the 25 of Gavin Barber. It looks like Abate fell back a little bit. Yeah, Verweyen into the grass. You're exactly right. Just like you said.
And I'll tell you what, one guy that I've seen kind of moving his way through this field, too, that I like what I'm seeing out of. He's running really low, really slow and tidy around this track. Christian Abate, that 09, Terry Labonte throwback paint scheme. Looking really good out here, being really consistent as the 25 gets loose in front of him.
Yeah, he's 2 positions up right now from where he started. That's Abate up 2 positions now to 15, up from 17. and holding that line. He did eat the wall a little bit earlier, but I don't think it's cost him anything. And getting free of Verwayen a little bit has given him a chance to focus up and try to increase his pace. He's getting a little bit of that push right now from Warling, and hopefully Warling will keep it tucked in there. The two of them can maybe make the move on the 25, but Gavin Barber has got just enough wiggle in his line that he's saying, nope, you're going to have to really work hard to get around me.
And what I'm liking out of the 09 machine of Abate is he's really consistent, really methodical. Watching what I've seen these first handful of laps, if that setup's got any pickup in it, look for him to be strong at the end of a long run. But I mean, I'm not sure who's got one underneath him this week. So we'll have to watch and find out together.
Here, yeah, we're going to find that out. I'm looking forward to it, my friend. Here comes Abate on the outside. He's finally got the speed, but it's a little bit high. Can he hold it? Yes, he's got a great exit. What an exit.
Ooh,
fantastic looking.
Also charging through the field, your points leader, Christian Challoner, up to 7th place. Down on the inside of the 943 machine. A little bit of contact with the wall for Northway. Christian Challoner.
I heard that.
Move him up to P6 here as they come to the stripe.
He is the hardest charger of the race so far, up from 11th up to 6th. That's the 78 machine, Christian Challoner.
I'll tell you what, that don't surprise me too much, man. That guy is a rocket in anything you put him in.
Well, is this the kind of race where you want to be leading the race for most of the race, or do you want to wait for that moment and 400 laps in, you're making a move for the race at the finish line? It's kind of hard to say.
This is one of those races where you want to be up there at the front in charge of it, because it's not pack racing. It's just track position racing. It's so hard to pass people. You want to get up there and get to the front so you can save your stuff and kind of keep the guys behind you at bay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And with a race this long, it's when you get to the end, you're going to be it's really how long have you been maintaining your place up here? There's going to be a wreck at some point. You don't want to be caught up in it. The end of the race is going to come. You want to be up at the front, in first place, in second place when that happens. So staying up there, that's the strat. And right now it looks like Challoner has got eyes on Vavroski and wants to take that spot as fast as he can. But his line is fantastic. It's very clean, and I'm hoping that his speed just carries him right past Vavroski without too much trouble.
And what you see with Challoner right now is you see him charging up there on the top, making a kind of a very late apex. He's trying to get as much as he can out of the straightaways with that 78 machine, and it's really working. As you see him just go by the 10 machine with ease.
Loved it. Just did it. Found his line, took it quickly down to the inside, a little bit on the opposite side of the track from where he had been running, but he saw the opportunity and he took it, and that's how you do it, folks. You go ahead and get that spot. Now looking great in 5th place, it's Christian Challoner.
Really good job building a run there to get him by. Got 3 cars under a blanket right now for 2nd place. Banfield with Morton looking to the inside in the old Fusion Dodge. And behind them, the 7 machines up there on the top.
That's where the race is at right now, because we're going to have to send a Raven to Dallas Pataska sitting in 1st place. 3 seconds ahead right now. The battle for 2nd is far more entertaining. The battle for 1st is really a one-man show. It's been an impressive lead from Pataska, but it might end up costing him in the tire territory before too long. We're only 23 laps in, though, so I don't anticipate that to be a problem for a little bit longer. But we'll see. Once the tires are awake and a little more buttery, maybe Pataska will fall back a little bit, and this Banfield Dowd Morton show will catch up.
I'm not too sure about it. Banfield looks like he's just a little bit behind on pace compared to what Pataska has. If he had it, he'd be up here by now charging with him. Once they start to pull about 2.5 to 3 seconds away from you in 2nd place at a short track, you kind of know that you've just got what you got. Try to hold down the spots you got. And don't charge too hard trying to get that guy back in, because you're probably not going to be able to.
That's a good way to look at it. It does seem like the battle behind him is in his head right now, a little more than trying to get up front. He's got to try to keep a defensive line and keep that speed up, and basically do picture-perfect laps to avoid giving Dowd anything he can work with. And hopefully Morton behind Dowd doesn't decide to get it into his head. They can really work together to try to pass him. It's really... it's kind of a fun show here, this little 1, 2, 3, and I haven't seen them really jockeying too much for position right now. They were earlier, but it looks like things may have calmed down a little bitty bit.
Right now, Dowd is really trying to set up Banfield to make a pass, but right now Banfield is running 2 too clean at the moment to really make a mistake for Dow to get there to him. Just trying to build that run down the straightaway.
And can he do it? Here comes the 4th place position. Guess who? Or 5th place. Guess whose that is in 5th place? Sneaking his way up to this pack.
Oh, if it ain't the closer.
Christian Challoner.
It ain't the closer.
The closer.
Christian Challoner himself. Thought it was Harvick for a minute. The paint scheme had me fooled.
The man with the plan, our only representative of Great Britain right now in the race. That's Christian Challoner. And he is here to show us how to race stock cars.
He's doing a good job of it right now, but Pataska at the moment just putting on a clinic with almost a 4-second lead already. 30 laps into this thing.
And as we said, that's where you want to be. You want to have that lead. You want to maintain it. You want to drive perfect laps. And it looks like Pataska has programmed himself to drive a perfect lap almost every time. That's it, boys. Take pictures. Take notes. Study the video. Here we got a 2-wide situation. The 11, my man, Brenton Foster. He's 2 wide with the 88, Samuel Harris. In the Kingsman Racing Blue. Yes, the Joe Donkey car.
That sounds like an insult. I don't know why, but it does.
It kind of does. It's just such an American tradition, though. Joe Donkey, you know. Oh, yeah. He's into the wall now. Joe Donkey, a little bit of contact.
The 88's just about sideways, trying to keep off of it. A lot of fun going on right here.
Doing his best. There he goes. He wants none of it. 88 falls back, and Joe Donkey to the inside. Attaboy, Brenton Foster up 1 position now. Samuel Harris down 4, so he's got a little bit more to prove. Sitting there behind Brenton Foster. Hopefully he'll get that chance coming up here soon. Another person I want to point out, Ryan Steele, 8th place right now. He's up 6 positions. We talked about Steele earlier when he was in the battle on the outside here. He's got eyes on the Bluey car of Robert Northway just ahead of him. Northway out of Oceana.
I'll tell you what, that 12 machine, that is a stout-looking hot rod. Old Michael Waltrip throwback paint with the dog bear color, with the dog bear stickers on it. That looks like something you'd see at Richmond back in the 2000s. That is a nice-looking hot rod.
Absolutely, and you can see there on the straightaway that car rocking side to side as he gets his foot down on the gas pedal. Always fun to watch these cars go.
No, we got a battle for second place shaping up.
With guess who? Christian Chandler.
9 Machine and Morton up there on the top, and here comes Christian Challoner to spoil the party. Yeah, Banfield,
Morton
I think.
On top.
I think Banfield doesn't quite have the car for the long runs. Pretty good on the short take, but really coming undone here as we get later into the stages. And Challoner, I feel like he's just going to come up here and swoop this thing as quick as Morton gets it.
Seems like it. Every opportunity that Challoner's had, he's taken. He's seen a few in the battle for second that he was able to work with. Previously down in 5th, he was able to ease his way on by. Now in 3rd position with very, very hungry eyes on 2nd. Now, if he can get ahead of Morton, I still don't know if, Challoner's going to be able to use his personal momentum to catch up to Pataska, who's in the next area code. But it's going to be a situation where he's going to be leading the pack for 2nd well into this race if he can get that position, because I think that he might be one of the fastest guys in the pack right now. Obviously he is. So let's see what happens when he tries to cinch 2nd place here, and he's got eyes on a very far away 1st place.
You see Challoner moving up the lane, trying to get a little bit of clean air to the nose, trying to find a way to get some kind of a run on that 9 Machine of Morton. Looking like Richmond of old back when they used to spray sealer down on this place. As the race would go on, the lines would move.
Now, where is his line? I think he's wondering to himself, is it here on the outside? That's the 78 trying.
Really good run out of 2, and the 9 gets loose coming out of 2. He's going to come down to the bottom and defend as Challoner's going to go by him on the outside.
He's going to try it. You can see Challoner just rocking his way onto the throttle, holding it straight not into the wall, but riding it closely. It's his position now. He's in 2nd place.
Now, keep an eye on the margin. Keep an eye on if Challoner can close in on Pataska. Right now, he's already doing it. Run him
It's
down.
happening.
Oh, it's happening quick,
It's-
too.
It's already happening, folks. It's happening. We're watching the gap close just a little bit, incrementally, bit by bit. But I have a feeling that with that nice open air and with these cars, it can be possible for Challenger to do just exactly what Pataska did earlier. Get out away from the pack, put some distance on it, and through just straight up better driving, see what happens.
Challenger staying up there on the top on the Dale Jr. line. I figured he'd be going down to the bottom. And he's sitting there running the middle lane right now. Building that momentum down the straights. It looks like it's working for him, too.
The middle line in wrestling we call the middle rope Bret Hart's rope because he liked to do his jumps off of the middle rope instead of the top rope. Is that kind of the same thing here with Dale's line, Dale Jr.'s line?
Junior really liked running outside and middle and stuff like that. You know, not like Kyle Larson where he'd run 2 inches off the fence. But Junior would like to go a little bit higher, try to find speed where the other guys weren't running. And often it worked for him. It was really good for him at Chicagoland and Richmond back in the day.
Oh, well, that's something that I got to keep an eye on here as we watch this. It looks like that same strategy is one that Christian Challenger is applying a little bit as he gets the distance. Now the gap increasing between him and Morton. It's about a second. He's about a second off of Morton, and he's still about 4 seconds off of Pataska. So he's not closing the gap on Pataska as fast as I might have thought he was going to, but he is increasing the gap on Morton.
There's one guy that's built for long runs on these short tracks. It's that 78 machine, but Pataska is holding up really strong up there in the lead. We got our first lap car in between these guys, too. Stephen Verweyen, after his little slide through the grass earlier.
Yeah, we saw that happen. Verweyen falling down into the grass. Couldn't really tell exactly what caused that.
He just got loose, really loose.
Yeah.
He's still fighting it, too. You can see him, that thing's yawing out like crazy down the straightaway.
I see it. And I wonder what, here we got an onboard, a camera. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, he's running it 2 inches to the wall, just kind of like you said, or that offset on his wheel is really like an optical illusion here as we watch here on board. He's got it very close to the wall, and it's going to be a matter of keeping it off that wall as best he can. With the cars right behind him, though, coming up from the lead, we're going to have to see what his strategy is. Do you think he's going to keep it down low? Probably going to keep it on the inside?
He's going to keep it there on the bottom, let these guys predict where he's at. And I don't think he's going to try and hold these guys off too much, especially when you got the second place guy coming. You know, the first place guy, you want to fight a little bit, try to keep on the lead lap, but once you get past by him, just let it go.
Yep. There's not really much to be done at that point. He doesn't have anybody there to help him, unfortunately, so it's going to be an uphill battle.
So nervy for him coming down the straightaway. You saw him just about loop it there.
Yeah, we've got eyes on the situation as the leaders are coming up hard, and then there's a bit of checking up going on. Let's see. Nope, it looks pretty good. Still want to see these passes happen. Want to make sure they happen nice and cleanly.
Oh, here you are, the Joe Donkey machine, getting passed by the 976 again.
Joe Donkey, come on.
Number 943.
I know I'm supposed to stay impartial as a commentator, but come on, Joe Donkey. Hey. That's okay. I still love you, Brenton. Keep it up.
I remember covering Northway when we went did the Eldora race a couple weeks ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, just that bluing machine. Runs it everywhere.
It's a pretty color. I like that robin's egg blue. It's nice.
My daughter's a huge fan of it, too. Just got to watch out for the wackadoo on the rear bumper.
That's how you watch. That's how you get your kids into NASCAR, folks. Just make sure that there's a livery out there for them. If they had a Roblox or Five Nights at Freddy's livery, I think my son might watch some more NASCAR, actually.
It was the Caterpillar car for me growing up. I fell in love with that car, then I found out he was from, about 2-3 hours away from me. So then I had even more reason to be a Ward Burton fan.
Hey. That just adds on the respect right there. The hometown hero feeling, always a good one. 53 laps now. We are an eighth of the way, I believe, for tonight's race by that count. So,
And our producer says he really liked Jeff Gordon's car because it had flames and fire is cool.
you know what? It makes the car go faster. As do Stripes.
Absolutely. Stripes, 50 horsepower.
50 easily 50 horsepower.
Now, something I wasn't expecting was Pataska to get back on the wheel and really eke that lead back out. Pataska's now up to almost 5.5 seconds over Challoner in second, and it's growing.
He must have seen what was going on back there.
Oh,
Challoner just
fading.
fell back.
Morton takes second place back.
He got around him just a little bit there. Let's have a look-see.
I think that might be the Nope.
He was just on the outside. Close to the wall. Little loosey-goosey.
I think that right there might be the disadvantage of going up to the top line as early as he did. It was
Yeah.
real. If he'd stayed on the bottom, I think he'd still have something. But I think going up there, he's really chattered that right rear tire off and really worn that thing out. I think now it's
more
just hold
track to
on till
work
pit
with.
stop.
Yeah, we're going to have one here. Probably before too long. These guys have... What's the pit strategy here? We're on lap 57. They should be pitting pretty soon. Depending on how much gas is in these things. Let's see.
You can go a long way on fuel here at Richmond.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I was on... Let's see. Was it... Yeah, probably... Nope, that was in the Xfinity car. That was a different car completely. Joe, come on. Think. Okay. I got my fuel numbers all mixed up today, but we'll see. We'll do the math, and then we'll have that number and that estimate for later in the race. Keeping an eye on things as things heat up a little bit. We're here at lap 60, coming around.
This is where Pataska...
Yep.
This is where Pataska doesn't want to be, man. Surrounded by a hornet's nest of lap cars. Staying here on the bottom, trying to get by them. This right here, this is where your race could really come to an end. If somebody slips a tire the wrong way and comes around in front of you, there's nowhere to go. To just avoid a wreck here at Richmond, you're liable to wreck yourself just from the sudden jostling of the wheel.
Hopefully everybody's keeping an eye on their relative and they can see when Pataska is coming up on them to get out of his way. We do not want to see this lead squandered. Obviously, the situation would be worse for Pataska than it would be for us, but it is kind of exciting to see all of this mixing going on here as Pataska makes his way back up through the inside of all these lapped cars. People are definitely giving him the right of way, but that's going to cost them positions too as they jockey with each other to make up the speed that they're losing from slowing down a little bit here.
Yeah, lap traffic at these short tracks, it can just get really chaotic really quick. Pataska making his way through it, though, out of that first wave of lappers. Not quite.
Driving on them, yeah.
Never mind. I thought he had that one cleared. My eyes jumped the wrong way.
Just had a little bit of loose there. He's working his way through it, though. Eyes are pretty much locked on Pataska right now because I really want to make sure that he gets through this field. It's a short track. He's got a lot of cars to chew through here. We have a 24-car race. So he's right around what is he? Sebastian Jackson, Rob Gamble. He's right around that area right now, I think.
He's right behind Warling, which Warling is in position 24.
Gotcha.
Of course, the guys that he's lapped up to 18th. There, I had to look back at it. Warling's a couple laps down.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I just want to see how things go here because we have so many spread out battles and we have lap cars now getting involved. We have gone a long set of laps here. We have our first pit though. Ross Banfield heading down pit lane, the 777. Hitting the jackpot, being the first driver. No prize awarded, but he is the first driver to head on down.
And the good news for Pataska is, normally that undercut would really stress you out. Man, he's got such a big advantage right now, and that car is so fast. He can stay up pretty much as long as it'll let him.
Yep.
And not get hurt too bad. He can drive his way back through it.
He's going to be,
That's
yeah.
it.
If he even if he puts it back in, he's going to be coming back out right in the middle of things, and it's not going to barely even in the middle of things. It's going to be if he has a nice fast pit, he's going to be able to take advantage of the lead that he's set, exactly as you said it.
Yeah,
And I'm looking forward to
that's
that.
from somebody with personal experience. That's the best feeling in the world you can have here at Richmond. Is knowing that that car is so fast you can stay out as long as you want, and that undercut the time lost to them, you can still work your way back through it and pull even further on them at the end of the run. It's glorious. Nothing better.
Glorious, he says. Well, that's what we like to see. Pataska now is just, it is a bit of a game of, win, though. That's the thing that always drives me crazy. Win, win, win. And we're not in his head. We can't quite get an idea of how the car feels under his feet. We can't get an idea of exactly where his head's at with the car's condition, and that's where that disconnect always makes me want to just be a fly on the wall, I guess a fly on the inside of the helmet, listening to the inner dialogue of some of these drivers, because I know that he's got to be stressing out a little bit after watching Banfield go in, and we don't have anybody. Let's see, Travis Warling was actually the first one to pit on lap 55. And it looks like Banfield now was the second one to pit on 64. I missed Warling going in. Did you even see him going?
Oh, we got charge here to the bottom, though, for 9th place. Joshua Wolf diving in on the inside of Brenton Foster and the... Oh, man, my brain... on the Joe Donkey car. There we go. My brain shut off.
It's okay. Brenton Foster in the 11. That's right.
Oh, and he's going to get loose. To the inside of him is going to be Warling, but Warling lapped down on fresher tires.
And here comes the 90 charging up. Or excuse me, is the 09? Is that Abate?
Yes, it is. That 09, that is a beautiful looking paint as well.
Well, that was the 90. Excuse me. I'm looking at my numbers wrong here. I got that wrong, folks. That was the 90 in my visuals, and it was the different number in the actual video screen there.
And right now, Banfield trying to carve his way through this lap traffic. Or not so much lap traffic, but these guys on older stuff than him.
Can he do it? Can Banfield keep it together? He's got what he needs as the car passes the 11 now of Brenton Foster. Next would be the 943 of Northway.
Now, Banfield's going to have a really good advantage here with the undercut that he pulled on the tires. He's going to get out there pretty far, probably even pull the gap out on Challoner. Problem is, though, that's going to come back and bite him really quick, being on older stuff once Challoner comes in and pits.
Yeah, Challoner still has the upper hand here a little bit.
That Challoner on the brain there. I meant to say Pataska.
I was going to say, as soon as I looked at the positions, I was like, does he mean Pataska? But yes, you are correct. Pataska still has the upper hand here for a little bit because he's still it's going to be a flip-flop when he comes into pit whenever he decides to. But in that meantime, Banfield really has to work on getting some positions up.
Nervous moment in front of Morton there. Brand Scrivener just about got into the side of William Fletcher coming out at 2. And the 9 Machine runs second place right behind him. Had nowhere to go if they'd have wrecked.
No, nowhere at all with 2 on the outside right now. That 70 car on the inside, Brian Scrivener. He's falling back a little bit now, maybe trying to give himself a little bit of leeway in case that does happen. But it looks like things are safe.
That was what we professionals refer to as a code brown moment. When you see lap cars door slapping each other right in front of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. The 9 into the wall a little bit. He's back out. That's Justin Morton. He's our second place driver. Kuhn has fallen down into the pits. He is the next person to go ahead and take that And coming out of the pits, it looks like Joshua Wolf. So we've had a couple of cars now that are making the first pit stops.
And I tell you, Pataska, that is one bad, fast Chevrolet. Up there in the lead, man. 8-second gap already.
Wow. Jeez Louise.
Adding
and Morton
a second,
is clear of the craziness.
Adding a second to that lead, to that gap every 10 laps, if you really decide you want to math it.
I love mathing it.
That's just insane.
That is that's a lot of gain for another car is looking like
three
it's
wide
to fall
here.
off.
Three
I
wide cars pitting. Man, that is chaotic.
That's scary. Oh, couple cars pitting, sending it 3 wide still. The cars are, yep, we are still 3 wide back there.
Points leader, Christian Challoner on pit road.
Challoner on pit road. Back there, it was Trevor Vavroski. A little bit was involved in that 3 wide situation. Morton now trying to hold off the 17, who's coming up fast. That's one of our lap cars. That's Wayne Hutchinson. So the lap cars and the lead cars are all mixed up here. A yellow would sort this out, but I don't think we're going to get one for a little bit. Everyone's being very polite. As finally we have packs of cars going into the pit, but not really in big groups. We've still had only a sprinkling of individual cars here and there. One group of 3 went in. We had William Fletcher go in, Brenton Foster, the 11 going in right now. Coming out of the pits, Brian Scrivener.
Here comes the Love Machine down pit road.
And the Love Machine. All right. Flying down pit road goes the number 9 of Justin Morton. Hopefully not getting a black flag for speeding. And I guess he's getting new tires, so he's not going to have to worry about that.
This is not an easy pit road to make either.
And there he goes, Dallas Pataska into pit lane. The 023 in first right now. Trevor Vavroski in second. Ryan Steele in third. Ryan Steele up 11 positions from his starting position at 14th place now. Other hot chargers are Brian McGreevy. McGreevy's in sixth right now. Verwayen, he's in ninth.
Can we get the pit lap put up by chance? I think we have that knowledge.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, so that first handful of guys have not come in yet.
Nope. Still some zeros out there.
A couple in. Fourth place. Third Machinist Stevens with McGreevy right behind him, 68. Right now, Steele out here on the oldest tires, trying to stretch his run as far as he can. Oh, and there it's going to work out for him. We got a yellow.
Whew. That yellow was out from a crash. Potentially Robert Northway?
Looks like it.
Let's go back and get a Grid Vision replay on that.
Comes up. A little bit of contact between him and the 17 just came up there like the... No.
Yep.
So I thought he had a little more room.
Very electromagnetic kind of crash sort of thing where you get right into the panel of someone and then there's really not much you can do if you don't back off immediately. You're going to spin the man. All right. And with that yellow, we're going to send things to commercial for the first major stop, first major break here. It's lap 88 on the Major Series Rock and Roll 400. We'll be right back on Grid Vision.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
The Major Series is back here on Grid Vision, and the flag is green, and there they go. And once again, Dallas Pataska is in the lead. Welcome back. Joe LaCastro here right now, here with Sheldon Adkins, back from the break. And Sheldon, give us your impressions on how the race has been going so far as we get back under green here.
So far, so good. Under green, though, I think we're going to see what's going on. Oh, there's contact in the back.
Right as we say, let's see how things are going, there is some contact. I saw some smoke earlier, but we're still green.
Yeah, the 8 machine, Verlaine, got moved up the track just a little bit. Not sure by who. I think it was the 10 machine. I could be wrong.
Little bit. We're still too wide in
I'm,
various places here.
I'm hoping I'm wrong, because those look like teammates, and a little team versus team violence never helped anybody.
Not at all. Not at all. Let's hope that those teammates can work together for what is the rest of a nice long race here. We're 95 laps into 400 tonight, almost a quarter of the way through tonight's proceedings. And things have been pretty much the Pataska show, as Pataska had like an 8-9 second lead before he went to pit around lap 84. And now he's right back where he started. The gap is about 1.5 seconds on Warling. It's Pataska, Warling, and Benfield in the 1-2-3 right now. And Pataska is getting ready to put on a second show.
I'll say that caution came out at the right time for the 90 machine of Warling. Just riding around the back, kind of a non-factor that whole first run. Since the caution came, strategy's got jumbled up. Warling's up here in second place now in front of Banfield. And we got a wreck in turn 1.
All right, back on the yellows. We'll see what's going on with that wreck. We'll see who was caught up in it here in a second. Eyes on the situation with the Grid Vision replay.
See Challoner right there on the inside. 943 just comes down a little too much into the 87. The 87 comes around.
Okay. What could have been much worse?
Everybody looks straight, though. I don't think anybody got caught up in it. No damage, really, to the 87 machine.
Phew. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse.
That could have been horrendous, but everybody does a great job avoiding it.
Ooh, great avoidance. Good work, everyone. That blue machine, that bluey machine, was involved a little bit in the previous yellow as well.
Yeah,
So
right now, just...
There we go.
Well,
Came
100
down on him
laps
just a
into
little
this-
bit.
Clicking 100 laps into this thing, too, pretty sizable mistakes for the Bluey machine at 943 of Northway. Now you just got to sit there and think to yourself, all right, I've caused, 2 incidents. I really need to refocus, recenter, get myself figured out. I'm the first car a lap down. So if we get a yellow, I get the lucky dog. Just get your head back in the game and get it back. You got a long way to go, man. You can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pep talks you
Tighten
give
up.
yourself. You gotta give yourself pep talks in these things all the time. You don't have a crew chief most races, so you gotta do it yourself.
Well, the 943 is pulling off the race right now. He's heading to the pits. Let's see how that treats him.
I think he's coming in to throw on for Mr. Feelgoods and bring it back out here. I hope he's not parking.
Let's hope
it.
so.
I'd hate to see that.
I would too, I honestly would too. I'm kind of hoping that he decides to stick it out a little bit. And we see how things go.
It's my daughter's favorite.
Yeah, can't have Bluey lifting, throwing in the towel this early into the race.
No, we cannot.
There's a lot of race left. You can always come back out. You can always work your way back up, and there's going to be more wrecks. Just avoid them. Don't be the one who causes them. You'll get your places back.
Let's hope for a nice long green flag run, too. Quarter of the way there already. 300 laps to go.
I'd love it. I'd love another 80 lap, 90 lap green flag run. We'll get out we got out the shaky 2 yellows in 10 laps right now. Let's put that behind us, freshen ourselves up. This looks like we're still at least 2 to go right now here at Richmond, but let's see and hope that these guys are getting mentally prepared for what lies ahead.
We've tested to see everything still works. Caution lights still work. Pace car's still working. Let's get back to green.
Yeah, it's about time.
These guys so far, they put on a really good performance and a really good show. Pataska's out here sticking up the show, but sometimes, man, you just got a car and a track combo, and you put a good setup underneath that driver, and you bring him to a track he likes, and there's just no touching him. Especially
There really
at Richmond. These driver tracks like this, Richmond, Rockingham, Martinsville, a handful of others. You get those, you get those 2 things right, and the driver can just go out there and absolutely run away with it.
Just chew it up. Truly. And with all on his own too. No driving partner here pushing him along. Just good knowledge of the track, great knowledge of the car. And it looks like the 90 is giving him a little bit of the squeeze here. As he's getting ready, we're coming around. The pace car is off, and it is green here at the Rock and Roll 400. With 300 laps to go, ish. Dallas Pataska pushing back out to the front. And we got some 2 wide situations behind him as everybody looks like they're trying to find a position to get ready for what could be a nice long run. Let's see it here, boys.
Banfield moving himself back up to second place on the inside of Warling. Going to clear him coming out of turn 4. Side by side behind him, though, as Harris and Warling go to battle here into turn 1.
Warling, Banfield, both in the evil box cars there. Down on the inside, Harris, Kingsman Racing, trying to find his position as well. He's holding down that inside line, keeping it tucked in very close to the inside, using that line as best he can, not even going all the way to the wall, heavy onto the throttle coming out into the into the trioval there.
Yep. Currently got Harris moved up there to P3. Everybody's single filing out behind him, though. Also, we were talking about earlier, Steele, a big mover, up to P6 now.
That's right. He's moving. We're working his way up.
Dowd back there in 7th. Right behind him, Abate in 8th. He's supposed to be passing
Vevrosky.
a lot of cars tonight.
Absolutely. Vevrosky, a little bit of wall action there. He's got some damage now on the right side of his car. Paint scratched up, but he's still driving fast. The inside of him is the 12, Ryan Steele. Joe Vevrosky back into the wall again, giving Steele the position nice and clean. At least clean for Steele, not for Vevrosky.
Yeah, we also talked about a couple guys that got really lucky with the caution timing and their strategy. Two guys that got absolutely killed by it. Morton and Challoner, both, running second and third until the pit cycle. Caution comes out. They're both sitting here at the tail end of the top 10 looking in.
Challoner especially is chomping at the bit for it. I'm certain of it. He's going to be looking. Challoner never... He worked hard to get the positions. He drove fast, but he did not push other cars around. He did not drive aggressively. He was an opportunist when he needed to be. So I'm anticipating him to work his way up over this green flag run here. And just keep an eye again on Challoner as he sits back right now in 11th. A lap or two, he's going to be 2 positions up, and we're going to blink and not even realize it.
Right now, Steele to the inside of Warling, diving down into turn 1. Steele with a little bit of an advantage coming in. Warling fighting back on the outside, but not quite. Steele's going to clear him here on the inside.
That's a nice move from Steele there. The 90 car behind him, not able to hold on. Slight gap maybe forming now between the two of them here. Not too much, but Steele's clearly got the lead.
I don't think Warling's really fighting back. I just don't think Warling's really enjoying the feel of that number 90 machine tonight.
No, not really at all. And Steele with the gap on the inside now. He's got the speed. He's got the space. He's looking for Dowd. Dowd is looking for Harris. Speaking of which, down to the inside flies Nathan Dowd. He takes a position now. 3rd place for Nathan Dowd. Sitting behind Banfield now, looking for that spot. What a move from Nathan Dowd. Good speed. Really good speed into that line.
Yeah, Dowd really turning it on here as we get a little bit later into this thing. Picked up a handful of spots here on the restart. He was sitting around Ryan Steele in the 5th, 6th position, up here to P3 now. All over the rear bumper of Banfield as they dive it down here to turn 1. Thinking maybe a good adjustment there on that pit stop might have really helped him out.
Most likely here. Banfield riding that outside. Riding the outside line a lot here. Not really diving down to the inside too much. Keeping it out. Almost puts it into the back of Dowd. Almost puts it into the back of Banfield there. Banfield now up to the inside. He falls back a little bit. A little bit of fall off there as Dowd moves up into 2nd place. He's still got 2 seconds to make up between him and Pataska, but he's got 2nd place on lock.
Let's see how it plays out, but Pataska's still running away with 2.5 seconds of the lead over Dowd in 2nd.
This is roughly where we were earlier. Now we got the 2-wide situation with the number 10 of Vevrosky and the 90 of Warling. Vevrosky on the inside, Warling on the outside there. 2 cars there. Joshua Wolf behind the 2 of them. Vevrosky still got the speed, still got the nose. Don't give him the space. Don't give him the space. All right, the juicer now down to the inside. Wolf looking for the gap that was left previously by Vevrosky. He's got it, but it's not going to give him anything.
And right now, Warling's rough night is just getting worse and worse as he gets passed by another car here. It's going to push him back to 8th place. Wolf gets to the inside of him here. Still fighting hard, though, on that outside, but I don't think that something's not lining up with him. You see his teammates running really good up there at the front. He's kind of just struggling a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't click, especially at Richmond.
Yep, he's fighting the car.
A little bit of contact.
Yep, he's fighting the machine. The machine's getting a little bit out from under him in some of these turns there. That 3 and 4 was a little bit loose for him. Here in the 1 and 2, he's got it just about on the edge of grip. So however he's driving it, maybe a little bit too much gas, potentially, but something is causing him to just be a little bit behind compared to the pace of his teammate there up at the front.
Yeah, this is very much of a field track, and if something's, wrong, you just don't have that feel, you're not going to be able to find it. You really have to put the nose to the grindstone to be quick here. and be on top of it
Absolutely.
all the way through.
Speaking of being quick, Pataska up still 2 seconds up from Dowd. Dowd, however, has put a second between himself and Banfield. We're seeing a similar situation start to play out here to what we saw happen at the end of the green flag run that we had going previously, where second place was actually Christian Challoner. And Challoner was starting to put distance on it, but then the lapped cars came into play, and soon everybody was off their game.
Yeah, Dowd is just absolute. I mean, I'm sorry, Pataska is just absolutely gone from these guys right now.
Sailing.
Also,
Beautiful.
122 laps into this thing, man. We've just completed I think that's about NIS length.
Just about.
I think the NIS is 128 here.
Well, we've got about, 3.5 times more of that to go. And Pataska has better lock in. He better have a drink handy. Here now, a battle. We got eyes on the 777. This is a battle for second or third here. Battle for third. Stretching out once more.
Sam Harris all over the back bumper of Ross Banfield as they coming out of turn 2. Not able to do much with him, though. Banfield getting a really good run down the back straightaway.
He's holding on to it in between Dowd and Banfield. It's going to be tough for Banfield to do what Dowd did, unless he can shake these guys behind him. And right now, Banfield's not really shaking the 88. He's not really shaking the 12. He's just kind of leading them. And so that speed that Nathan Dowd has got, that speed that Pataska's got, where are they getting it from? That's a good question that I bet that Ross Banfield's asking himself right about now.
You're seeing right now. What you're seeing too is you saw the 90 car, Warling fall back early in this run, and you gotta be wondering if the 777, if they are identical on setup, you can kind of expect the same thing to a different degree because of a different driver. Right now, you see him kind of falling back here on the long run compared to Nathan Dowd and Sam Harris and Ryan Steele and some of these others that are around him.
Doing what he can. Banfield, in the evil box, 777 up front. Warling in the 90. That setup's probably very similar, but two different drivers on a very difficult track, and you're getting, as you said, what a great example of what track knowledge and a little experience can do.
Oh, right to the quarter panel here, coming out of turn 2. Sam Harris on the inside, not able to get the run down the straightaway though. And it's going to be close again coming into 3.
I saw it. I saw what I wondered was a little bit of contact. Maybe not really. Nothing that we could tell, but it's very close. Harris wants that inside line. He's willing to put his car right there, too, and he won't give up the position.
Harris backing it up there in the 1 and 2, trying to build a run down the straightaway. Not able to really get the power down the same way the Banfield was, though, out of turn 2 with that slightly higher line. But the more they go like this, the more it's going to come to Harris on the long run.
All right, let's get eyes on something else here. The situation with the number 9 of Justin Morton now. Morton looking for the 09 ahead of him. That's Christian Abate. Nice line of 4 cars here with Brenton Foster at the back. Christian Challoner holding it exactly where he was at the start of the race. He's in 11th right now, and that's where he was going to be. That's where he started, and that's where he currently is. Not really making the plays we saw from him earlier in the race. Still a little bit back from where I think he wants himself to be, but we'll see. Maybe there's an opportunity coming. Maybe he's waiting for the tires to change their condition a little bit. Maybe he's waiting for a mistake from the car ahead of him, but it feels like he's got the line on Justin Morton, so it's just a matter of time before he takes the position.
That shows you how competitive this field is, too, at the same time. Second and third from that first run. You thought they were some of the fastest guys out there. Right now, they're, stuck here at the top of the top 10, too, but also have to wonder, these guys got put a lap down when that caution came out at a very unfortunate time. I wonder if they stayed and took the wave.
Oh, they did say something about wave arounds on the radio. So that is entirely possible. That would put them in an advantageous position, I think. There they
So,
go
let's wait for
down.
it to-
It's very clean racing from the four of them here. Brenton's still behind them, not really making positions either. I guess they all kind of have fallen into a pattern of realizing, hey, this is going to be a long race. We can do this. We can get into a good pattern. We can follow each other. The number 9 still breaking the draft a little bit there. Not too much drafting going on, but the 9 still signaling on the inside, hey, I'm coming in here. Hey, I might want that spot. We'll see if he's going to get a chance to get it. He's going to need some serious speed, though, to take it from the 09 of Abate. And the speed is just not there right now. Not what I see. I'm not sure where he's going to get it from, but it could be in the car.
Right now, Challenger's all over the rear bumper cover, that 9 machine of Morton. So right around here. Looks like these guys are trying to save, hold on to what they got, try and stretch out this run as long as they possibly can. They are actually on the freshest tires. We were wrong initially, but I'm going to right that wrong here. Short tracks, hard to keep up with sometimes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If that is the strategy, if it is, I think they're all performing it admirably. And it seems to me that the strategy will pay off over time. And time is what we've got. Not even halfway through the race right now. We've still got some time before this needs to become anything really serious in terms of driving for positions. So we're going to wait and see when things do get serious, if this little pack of 4 are part of the contention. I have a feeling that given where they used to be, we are going to see them moving up at some point, but there is no reason to move up right now. They're just you can just hang out for a bit. There's Pataska, our leader. He's 3.5 seconds ahead right now of position 2, and 2 is 2 seconds ahead of position 3. So we've got some good spread going, about a 5.5 second spread between Pataska and Ross Banfield in 3rd place. The race is going to eventually come back around to bite these lap cars. And when it does, it's going to be another round of Pataska dodging, working their way through and trying not to lose too much speed. It could cost Pataska this lead, getting caught up in these lap cars again. And especially if we stay green, that could be something that is detrimental to his overall goal of staying in the lead for as long as possible. All right, coming around, we've got eyes on the Kingsman car and the number 12 of Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele tucked in behind Vavrovsky. Vavrovsky looking at Sam Harris. Got eyes on the inside, but nothing there. There he goes, breaks down, shoots for the inside.
Oh, and a little bit of contact here in 3 and 4.
What a move from
slides up the track.
Vavrovsky. What a move. He wanted that spot bad enough to make contact, and he got it.
I don't know if it was a good move. We'll find out. That 88 machine, he might be a little ruffled after that.
That's a good point. Risky enough. I just liked watching that.
Here we go. A little bit of replay. See the
The
10 machine up here on the
replay.
top. You're going to send it down here. Build a little bit of run coming out of the turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Get right to the bumper. Try to cross him up. Slide him into 3. And he's going to slide him all right. A little bit of contact there.
He slimmed good. He tried for a classic slide job and just didn't quite have the space on the nose. I'm glad that they didn't spin each other.
I'm elated that they didn't.
Yeah.
But
Nice
I do
touch
think
on the
right
wheel.
now, everything's kind of single filed, calmed down a little bit. 143 laps on the board. I think it's a good time to send it to a commercial break.
I think it's a great idea. Why don't we go ahead and do that here? 143 out of 400. Commercial break number 2 coming right up on Grid Vision, folks. Don't go nowhere.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, anybody got a setup? Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Major's garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey, we're back, folks, on Grid Vision with the Major Series Rock and Roll 400. Lap 156 out of 400. I'm Joe LaCastro in the booth with Sheldon Atkins. How you doing, Sheldon?
Doing pretty good. Carving our way closer to halfway. Christian Challoner moved himself up into 4th place here. Battling heavy right now with the 3rd place machine of Trevor Vorsky.
Doing his best. And up at the front, it's Dallas Pataska weaving his way through lap traffic right now. He's working his way past the 17 car. Trying his best. Challoner looking good.
Yeah, Challoner was riding around there in the 10th, 11th position area with Morton and has just out of nowhere flipped the switch, and this thing is flying. He has driven his way through this pack while we were under commercial. It's crazy how fast he's going right now compared to the rest of these guys. Challoner running a 23.23. Your race leader, Dowd. I mean, not Dowd. Sorry, Patasco running. Oh God, I got a lot of cars to get through to get to him to see it. Run 23.3s. There we go.
Yep. He's doing his best up there at the front to weave through traffic and still set good times, but as soon as he hit that traffic, it was like a switch turned in Challenger's head. It only took 2 minutes for him to gain about 4 places, something like that. And he's getting ready to gain another one right here.
And what you're seeing right now is why he is so high in the points this year. So consistent, really smart driver, really good at, keeping it turned off when he needs to keep it turned off and turning it on right at the point in the run where it really starts to hurt the others.
He's got a good line here, a great exit. Just doesn't quite have the speed right now, but he's got the angle to try to challenge the number 10, Vavrovsky, for his position.
Oh. Banfield bringing it down pit road here.
All righty. Warling also in the pits. This will be pit number 2 for Banfield and number 3 for Warling. Here the 78 still eyes on Challoner. Quite a heck of a battle. These two just holding on to this 2 wide position. One at the top, one at the bottom.
Challoner slowly edging his way forward, though. Not quite able to get it done just yet because the outside line momentum that the 10 machine is able to carry. But he's just about got it. Another set of corners, maybe 2, and I think he's going to have it.
I think you're right.
Dives it back down to the bottom here in 1 and 2. A 10 is not letting him go easy, though. He's doing his best Ryan Newman impersonation up there on the outside line.
And when you watch these cars get straight on the straightaway there in the back, you can see that back end wiggling as they put the throttle all the way down. Both of them just trying to get every ounce of speed they possibly can out of the vehicle before they have to hit the gas, they hit the brakes again and start sacrificing it for these turns.
Now here's where it gets kind of nervy. Couple lap cars, guy coming out behind you on fresh tires. You know he's going to be trying to get by you all quick. Got a guy in front of you a little bit slower. Both get dead loose out of turn 4. Both do a great job of saving it. And now they're 3 wide going into turn 1 with Norfleet.
That was nearly a Code Brown situation, as you mentioned earlier.
Oof.
North Face?
I've watched 165 laps of Richmond. Oh man, the 10 just about got into the 87.
Saw it. Just about. Was able to avoid it. Just barely, though. We're 3 wide now. Challoner next to the 87 and the 19. That's Sebastian Jackson and Nick Kuhn.
19 is a pretty cool paint scheme. I think that's a throwback to an old Busch series right as he gets loose. That's what I get about talking. That's what happens when I talk about people, man. They know it. They get nervous.
Oh, don't talk about me too much then, my friend. I got a race to call. Let's see, there's a sponsor for tonight's race, Sargis Place. Raising money for a good charity. Do you know anything about Sargis Place?
I'd like for you to tell me, because it's the first time I'm hearing about it. What can you tell me?
Well, let's see. One of the cars is running a Sargis Place charity. Is it the 19? Delivery? All right. Well, Sargis Place is a veteran housing shelter. And so it's one of the organizations that help support our veterans. And this is something that, as you probably are aware, coming back, you don't always get the support you need. And we want to make sure that we're able to support our fighting men and women and people who are out there supporting us. So if you have the ability to, go look them up, do a little bit of Googling, do a little bit of searching, but look for Sargis Place Charity, Sargis Place Veterans Housing, and look up sargentsveteransupport.org. I believe is their website, sargentsveteransupport.org. And they'll give you some information there on how to help and support veterans.
That's an incredible charity too, man. A lot of people don't give our vets the respect they deserve, and it's so good to see, some groups actually putting back into those that have put their everything out there on the line for us. Oh, on pit road right now, race leader Pataska.
Okay, Pataska is now in the pits. This is his second pit now on the race.
Move Challoner up here to the lead for the time being.
He's going to
Done a
use
really
this
good
time
job.
to...
Done a really good job saving tires here. Now he's leading. No, and the 10 machine just about loses it coming down the front straightaway.
Ooh, let's see if they can keep it green while our former race leader pulls back out of pit road there. He's flying down the pit road to get back onto the course here. And there he goes. Pataska back out now. He's holding down 10th. Up to 9th, excuse me. And he is just a lap behind, it looks like. Barely a lap behind the leaders of Christian Challoner and Trevor Vavrovsky.
As he dives onto the inside of the 10 machine of Vavrovsky, not even a competition. You see how fast those 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles are compared to the rest of the field right now. He'll be getting that
Yeah,
lap
he's
back
got-
here in another handful. Probably
Absolutely.
even just a lap.
If he's got the machine to do it right now, which it feels like he does,
Nope.
he's going to be able to. Everybody in front of him is going to have to pit. Challoner.
There it is,
pitting right
Challoner,
now.
pit road. Good clean pit
Challoner.
entry from him.
Brenton Foster, the number 11, my Joe Donkey, is pitting as well. Pataska, ooh, super close to the 777s there of Ross Banfield. Super close. He wants the inside. Banfield's just not giving it to him right now. There we go. There we go. Banfield lets up a little bit. They're still on their same lap, though. This is for position. And the
Pataska.
023 takes it.
Pataska's also doing everything he can to avoid getting a yellow because it's the last thing he wants right now. One of the
it's
most
gonna
recent
put
guys
him
on
in a
pit
bad
road.
spot. Yellow right now would be a bad position for Dallas Pataska. So he is going to drive clean, but he is going to also drive like that proverbial bat. Proverbial, that's the word, right? Yep, proverbial bat. Flying out of proverbial hell here.
There we go. Bigger words than I'm used to.
Ugh, yeah. He's got a ways to go, though. He's got a 12-second gap on Samuel Harris. So it's going to be it's a gap that's quickly shrinking. That 12-second gap has just become an 11-second gap as I've been talking about it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get there before too long, that is for sure. But everybody else is going to have to come in and pit here to fire on 4 fresh tires as well.
Yep, and Pataska is part of the not the earlier pitting crew. He's right around the middle of the crew pitting. A couple of guys are really pushing their tires a lot further. But Pataska has got the position back that he needs, where when those guys ahead of him who are all on old tires eventually go to pit, the race is his again to win or to take the lead in.
Right now, we got a new leader, too. 12 Machine of Steel. Biggest mover of the night. Coming from deep in the pack. Moved himself up in the top 5. Been consistently running around the top 5 tonight. Now he's out here getting a couple laps led here under the pit cycle. As you can see, Challoner breathing down his neck from about a straightaway back.
Looks like the 88 just signaled that he's going to pit also. Samuel Harris now being one of the first in from the pit crew, from the crew at the front with the old tires. Now it's Morton and Steele still on the old set.
I was expecting to see more out of Morton too. You know, ran second on that first run. He looked really fast, really scrappy. Looked even better than Challoner at the end of that run. Now he's in second right now, but he was mired back this entire second run after the first round of pit stops.
And speak of the devil, there goes Steele into the pits. We just saw him a second ago. Still out there. There's Vavrovsky, and there's the number 9 of Justin Morton, now in the lead on tires from lap 98. So his tires are almost 90 laps hot at this point. The 183, that's the 20, that's the 023. The 7 right now, flying around, that's Nathan Dowd. Making some decent time over there.
Yeah, Dowd has been really good this, once we got past the first quarter of this thing, Dowd's really clicked it on. He's been doing pretty solid here as we start to get a little bit later into this event. I'm wondering if maybe the track conditions changing, because, I mean, heck, we were just at around sunset when this thing started. I wonder what the track temp is now compared to earlier.
It's a darn good question. Look at conditions potentially. Here we go. And with those conditions out, we can see Dallas Pataska back in the lead.
Hey, there we go.
All is well in the cosmos.
Dude has had a rocket tonight. I don't see how anybody can do anything against him as we get late into this thing. You see he's been dialed in.
His strategy's been good. His driving has been impeccable. So, as you just said, I'm not going to take any bets against Pataska at this point. If I had to give a lap 200 guess...
Oh, wreck out of turn 2! Oh, and
Yellow's
the
out.
19 gets caught in it.
And the yellow is out. Again. Bluey, the 943
I think
of
that
Robert
one's-
Northway.
I think that one's going to set it for him tonight.
That might be it. Here comes Northway.
Right in the top 11, a little bit of contact. Just kind of sends him in there. And the 19 cleans him out.
Ooh. Unfortunate. Yeah,
Yeah.
Northway just gets turned a little bit. And that really
Um,
cost him.
See if we can right on board with the 11. Ah, there we go. See, our producer is in my head right now. No, okay. On board with the 19 here. Wreck's already happened. I don't know why you don't break, but hey, I'm up here calling it.
Right? Yeah, let's get on board with the car that was behind that hit him. Who was that?
This is the 11 machine.
The
Foster.
11 car.
That's a hard hit. I guarantee you that 19 is pretty much done for the night, too. I'm sure there's wheel damage on that. Run on board with the 11 here. Comes in.
Okay, outside, down the inside.
Really good run. And
Beep.
it looks like the 943 had to check a little bit. And,
A
11
little
stood
bit,
left
but
for
not
it.
a lot.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like he got driven over a little bit.
It's just one of those deals, man. You gotta give and take. Right now, we got Challoner in the lead, so that's a shake-up here.
It's true.
What a-
The top 3 positions are all occupied by drivers who have made up over 10 positions in tonight's race.
They've been booking for sure.
The middle of the pack was where all the hard drivers were for on the grid.
All 3 of them teammates too, I do believe.
Hey. We got a pitter. That's overweighing.
Staying out on older stuff here. 18 lap tires on Abate. Then Challoner and Foster both on 15 lap old tires. I mean, the good news for them is this: the tire compound that we use here at Richmond is a little, how do I say it? A little more durable than what we have at the mile and a halves. It doesn't feel like it is as drastic a loss. I mean, it's still gonna be a loss, right? They got 850 horsepower, no downforce, hardly. It's still gonna be a little tricky for them here, but you know, it's gonna be a lot better than if we were at like Texas or something. They stayed out on 15 lap tires.
We'll see the lights are off. And we're getting ready to go back green here, folks. Very soon here. 192 out of 400, almost at the halfway mark. The rock and roll 400 has been rocking and rolling. A lot of rolling. More rolling than rocking. It's been nice.
Yeah, I'm happy that we haven't been having a whole lot of rocking tonight. Just shy of halfway.
Make yourselves at home, settle in, and get ready. Pace car is off. Here comes the green flag, and we are go at the Rock and Roll 400, brought to you by Grid Vision.
Challoner with a really good dive down at turn 1. Gets a good launch on the restart. He's going to grow a nice little gap here between him and second place, Bretton Foster.
Foster, that Joe Donkey machine, beautiful in second place, but it's going to have to work hard to keep itself out of the fight between Challoner and Pataska. Pataska already pressuring him for that position, looking to get it. Cars behind him are too wide, but up at the front they're too wide now. Pataska down to the inside. He's looking for second place. Can he have second place? Please give it to him. I think he's got it.
Dives down into the bottom of 3 with second place. There are 3 guarantees in life. Death, taxes, and getting passed by Pataska tonight here at Richmond as he's hunting down Challoner for the lead.
Exactly. Now, this is a fight, folks. This is going to be the kind of fight that I think that Pataska wasn't expecting to have, considering where he spent most of the night so far. If he wants that spot back, he's going to have to make Challoner look silly, and that's going to be tough considering exactly what Challoner's been doing for most of this race so far, which is making every car around him look silly. So this could be a battle for the first place that's actually really tight.
I don't see it, man. 15 lap tires, a little bit older than that now as we, drive our way down here into turn 3. I mean, Pataska's on freshies, and he has been the fastest car out here tonight. Challoner hasn't even had anything for him. I don't see much of a fight here. I see him getting to the bottom as we see coming into turn 1, and a clean pass before we even get into center.
You're right. Let's see. I don't know. I've got this little sinking feeling that Challoner's not done challenging Pataska's domination yet. Maybe not challenging him, but maybe just trying to hold off anybody else from taking second place.
I just don't think he's got it. I don't think it's in the cards for him this evening. Because
that
023 is just, that thing is hooked up. I think it looks like a slot car driving around here. I haven't seen him throw a bad wheel at any point.
Oh yeah, I don't think that Dallas is going to be making any mistakes anytime soon. But we'll see. Down to the inside. That's the 9-0. That's Travis Warling. He takes the position now. Oh, little loose. Nope. He's got it. Warling ahead of Abate.
Yeah, right now the older tires that some of these guys stayed out on is really.
Oh, Scrivener crashed his car. Almost into the wall, down into the inside wall, and to a stop. We're still green.
Right on board here. Oh, that's something. That wheel come unplugged or something.
Yep.
That is, yeah.
That's hardware.
That is horrible. I've had that happen to me before. Happened to me at Atlanta one year in a championship battle for a league I was in. It was not fun.
Gotta hate it when the machine lets you down. But hopefully he can get it fixed. Hopefully he can get back out. Time will tell.
We'll see where the rest have kind of fallen back because of the old tire call. Challoner's doing a pretty good job holding up second place right now in front of Nathan Dowd.
It's the 09 and the 9 of Justin Morton right next to each other there. Morton looks to the inside.
Ooh.
Did you see that too?
That 12 place looked like that 12 car looked like he was going places, and to the finish was not one of those places for a second. Yeah, real loose coming into turn 3. And man, when you get loose coming into 3 here, you don't typically walk out of it. Good job keeping it under him and making a spot at the same time.
No, you don't. With the way that this track is shaped, you've got the tri-oval shape at the start finish, but at the back, that wall is a much sharper curve. If you go flying into 1 and 2, especially if you come flying out of 2, you're just going to slam the wall.
I will say that 12 machine is steel. I don't think anybody's passed more cars than him tonight. He is just cutting his way through the field again.
It's been fun to watch. Somebody. A little bit of trouble there. Sounds like Abate or Morton just got into Ryan Steele a little bit. Oh, I just missed that by an inch. I was looking over at my phone, of course, for 1 second, trying to check some data.
How dare you do that?
I know. I want to see the action here. It's been good. It's been a good mix of long drives and then a few saves here and there, but
Here comes Steele passing his teammate. 09 machine of Abate.
nice courteous
10th
pass.
place.
Steele takes 10th. Abate slides back down into 11th.
And Dowd's up there holding on to 2nd place right now, 3 seconds back from Pataska. Seems like the phrase of the night.
Right? X seconds back from Pataska. It's always going to be that way, though. You better believe it. If he can get up there, he's going to hold that spot. That's what it seems like. It's been a beautiful thing to watch so far. The 68 looking on the inside.
Good old-fashioned butt whooping. As Larson referred to it a couple years back.
Well, that's what you get. He's whooping the entire field. McGreevy here, lap down. 68. He's in the middle of traffic. Just trying to stay out of the way of the 9 as the 09 of Abate. McGreevy holding the middle line a little bit. Just a bit defensive, but you can do that a little bit here. He's trying not to get too far back. Yeah, it looks like McGreevy's actually setting the pace here for the other cars. He's got the speed and everything. Down the inside, I see Brenton.
Little
Brenton
shot coming into 1.
Just a touch. I was looking for it. I thought I saw Ryan Steele get hit a little bit by Brenton Foster there.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit coming into 1. Not a whole
Was that
lot, though.
I think we both saw that shot. I think that was the shot we saw.
Yeah, I think it was more of a misjudgment than a shot, though.
Very fair, very fair. We've all been there before. Going back around now here at the front. Look at that. Dallas Pataska racing himself, writing his autobiography right now. He is now 4 seconds up, roughly, but about 4 seconds up on Nathan Dowd. Dowd himself about a second up on Trevor Vebrowski.
Well, in other news, Austin Cindric just wrecked the entire field in the Cup race right now.
Oh,
Michael McDowell just went flipping into traffic.
where was Cindric when he wrecked?
He wrecked somebody for the lead, like he
For the
tends to do.
lead.
Yep.
Well, let's have none of that karma here tonight. Since that was a bad race, let's have a good one.
Pataska just running away with it, man. Absolute insanity how fast that thing is tonight.
I want to imagine he's going to run out of stamina. He's got another half a race to go, but I don't think so. He could probably do this all night.
I will say, man, everything's kind of single filed. We're on a little bit of an in-between phase here between pit cycles. Can't think of a better time to just take in the sights and sounds and give us a little bit of a rev it up.
And we're back, folks. Back at the Major Series Rock and Roll 400 at Virtual Richmond Raceway. The sun has set. It's nighttime now. Nighttime race. The lights are out. And Dallas Pataska still holding on to a commanding lead. I'm Joe LaCastro here in the booth doing the Grid Vision stuff for you, the Grid Vision fans. I am here with Sheldon Adkins. How are you, Sheldon?
Doing all right. Currently, got my eyes on the 314 machine of Joshua Wolf. Working himself up here into the top 10. Haven't really talked about him a whole lot tonight. Doing a pretty solid job of just driving this thing up in here into position as we get later into the stages of this event. Just past halfway. Yeah. The unnumbered Sector 5 machine. If you look at the paint.
It's true. That's true. The unnumbered Sector 5 machine. Nothing on the sides here, nothing on top. Just Sector 5 all over.
Another cool change of scenery here in the top 10. Whirling looks like he's really figured out what he needed on that long run. Up here in 6th now, doing a good job holding on. Early on the front half, on the midsection of these runs, you saw him kind of going backwards. Doing a good job just holding ground right behind Christian Challoner, who's sitting there in 5th place on a little bit older stuff.
Challoner trying his best. He was challenging for first. He was first for a little bit. now back in 5th. He's on, let's see, yeah, his tires are only about 15. He's got that 15, like you said, that little bit of a gap, but he's still holding on to 5th place. He hasn't quite lost that to anybody else who has newer tires too. Warling, Wolf, Steele, they're all still behind him. So Challenger's got something underneath the hood that they don't have.
Yeah, Challenger's doing a really good job managing what he's got. He's doing a good job keeping his equipment together so he can be good at the end of these runs. I mean, he's up there on the top line now, though. You can tell he's kind of gotten to crunch time. You know, he's trying to get as much power out of this thing as he can.
And he's doing it, too. He's doing it. With a half a second ahead of Warling. And the gap to Banfield tightening every turn. He's a second off right now, Banfield. And if Challenger keeps this up, he can probably tighten that up.
Somebody that's really coming alive.
Soon.
Somebody that's really coming alive right now. 3rd place, Trevor Bavorsky. On the back end of Nathan Dowd, battling, just about to have a battle here for 2nd place. You see Dowd's running way up there against the lineup in the Larson lineup by the marbles. Bavorsky's doing a little bit nervous moment coming across the start-finish line, but all things considered, he has hunted that 7 machine down.
He is pushing hard on those straights and just trying to get all the top line speed that he can out of this vehicle. You see it lurching as it tries to work its way down the track and outrun Nathan Dowd. It's just not enough on some of these straights. He just can't quite get the speed out of the engine that he needs to close the deal. And so even though he gets close on these turns, I'm wondering, is it possible that Bavorsky's given it all she's got and there's just nothing left to give?
At this point, he just needs to kind of strap in, hope the 7 machine makes a mistake. I also think that the 10 machine I think he's overachieving, though, at the same time. He's done a really good job working his way through, and we saw him earlier in the race kind of struggle a little bit, too. And I think he's just getting that extra 10% out of his equipment. Doing a great job behind the wheel out of that 10 machine.
Absolutely. And that goes such a long way, too. Just that extra 10%.
I'll tell you what, it's impressive anytime you watch anybody come out here and run a majority of a race at Richmond clean. Tip of the hat to the Major Series and the drivers in this field tonight, because they have done a tremendous job.
It's been very respectful. Challenger now getting passed up. Challenger making
Warling.
the moves there. Warling makes the move to pass Challenger.
Warling really coming alive at the tail end of this long run here. Whatever he was looking for, he has found it at this stage in the race, because he is looking better than he has all night.
We were a little worried a little bit about Warling. He was back down around the 10th, 11th position, something like that. But now he's making the moves. He's back behind his teammate. He's looking good. He's looking ready to help Banfield more than to help the work his way through the rest of the pack. You're exactly right. Something has changed. Something also has a flip has switched here, and it looks like Warling is ready to drive the car a little bit, just that little extra bit harder.
He's doing a really good job here. He's really picked up the pace here in the just a little bit past halfway of this thing. Here we go. Got a little bit of a battle shaping up here. Steele.
You see it? We got
on the
two
inside
wide up there.
Right behind him. That's Wolf up there on the top. And behind him, you got Morton. And
Morton
still
on the
not sure
inside.
what's been up with Morton, man. He was so good at the start. And as the tracks kind of changed, it seems like the car's gotten away from him a little bit. Not able to get as much pace out of it as he was earlier in this event.
That's true. He was a second place. He was a contender. He was solid second place for a little while there, before one of our cautions. So maybe he's just saving. Maybe he's in that saving position where he wants to stay up front, but not give up the ghost, so to speak. The ghost being your tire conditions.
I'm quite sure. Man, that 87 got loose coming out of turn 2.
87
made me
car,
nervous.
that's driven by Sebastian Jackson.
Oh, here comes the 9 down pit road.
He's on tires from 141, or from excuse me, he was on tires from a few laps back. Let's see. Didn't Gotcha. Since the last caution was the last time that he picked up. So Justin Morton trying to get some fresh ones to make himself a contender. We'll see.
Right now, Pataska up to a near 7-second advantage over Nathan Dowd in second.
Beautiful.
Dowd pulling out a little bit of a gap on that 10 machine of Avorsky. I think the 10 maybe reached that plateau point on those tires, and it's just downhill from here. But a good fight from the 10 nonetheless.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. He's got the inside line, the 10 does. But you're right, if the tires aren't there, the tires aren't there, and he's not going to be able to make that line work for him without those tires.
No, and somebody else is creeping his way into the picture here. That 777 machine of Ross Banfield up in the 4th place. Slowly starting to reel them back. Running the middle line right now. These guys are up on the outside line, 2 inches off the fence. Can't help but think that running a little bit lower on the track would be better on the tires for them.
We'll see. All right, we're going to take it to commercial real quick here, folks, on Grid Vision. We'll be right back.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, anybody got a setup? Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Anybody really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we're back, folks. Eyes on the number 11 of the Joe Donkey car, Brenton Foster, as we are at a yellow flag situation here at the Rock and Roll 400. During the break, here's a little bit of what went down. Foster goes around, loses it, spins it, and parks it down off the road. Just enough to pull out the yellow flag. No wreck, no other cars involved, but we are going to go around a couple of times, nice and easy, just to make sure that no one's too rattled.
Yeah,
Sheldon,
just a little too,
how you doing?
I'm doing all right. And I was just a little too deep into turn 3. A little too late on his brakes. Probably, maybe a little bit too much brake to the back. Very easy. It's a textbook incident here at Richmond because it is so easy for the back end to start skidding and hopping out from when you coming into the corners if you're a little too late on the application.
Yep, you're trying to use the brakes a little bit early to get the nose just to get lined up with that turn, but like you said, too much, and you're going to end up spinning it out, throwing it into the turn, and in that situation we just found ourselves in, or that Brenton just found himself in, that would be where you'd be. But now we're back on the road, and he is back on the road, hopefully able to get straightened out. It looks like he's back in 14th position right now. And he's only down a few positions from where he started this race. Still up at the front, though, it's Dallas Pataska. Second place, it's Trevor Vavrovsky. Third place, Nathan Dowd. Fourth place, Travis Warling. And in fifth place, it's Samuel Harris to round out the top 5 in tonight's Rock and Roll 400. 259 laps out of 400 in. We've got a little ways to go yet. We're glad you're here with us for it. Welcome back to Grid Vision, everybody. And soon, we're going to be back on the road.
Yeah, and still got plenty of time left in this thing too, so see how she shakes out.
Very good.
I still got all money on the 023 machine though.
That's the way to do it. Not a bad idea. That was before I saw the Joe Donkey car. Pataska was going to be my pick, but I think that at this point it's too late to switch, or I would. But I think the 23 is the bet for tonight's race. But you only heard it from the commentators, so don't take my word for it. Let's wait and see what happens.
It was also a really bad time for yellow to come out, too. You had guys pitting and making strategy moves there. Morton in the 9 machine was really upset with the timing of the yellow. Heard over the driver chatter.
That strategy out the window at that point. And also, by the way, what else is out is the lights. Sounds like someone just ate it in 4. Some trouble. We might have a delayed. Yep, we have a delayed green now. Someone just spun their car in the 4th turn there, unfortunately. As we go back around for another couple here.
Yeah, same thing we saw a couple seconds ago.
It's the 87. That's Sebastian Jackson. The same exact maneuver.
It's been a rough night for Sebastian Jackson.
It has been. It has been. He's been toward the back of the pack most of the night. Now he's got some nice hot spots on his tires to deal with. Let's hope he can hold it together for the rest of the race here. He's got some more laps to go. The lights are out. We're going to try this one more time.
It's one thing we don't love. It's some hot spots on the tires.
No, we don't.
A lot of wave around cars on the bottom.
A lot of wave around cars. Woo, yeah, they are. Pace car is off, I believe. The green flag is out, and here we go. Rock and roll 400, lap 261 and 262. And up at the front, Dallas Pataska, Trevor Veverovsky, and Nathan Dowd are your 1, 2, 3.
Notice to tell coming out of turn 2, the 10 machine of Veverovsky with Nathan Dowd right behind him. These two been fighting each other just about all night. Diving it down in turn 3, though, the 10 machine's going to get the pole coming out of turn 4.
This is the highest up we've seen Veverovsky so far tonight, I'm pretty sure, on the grid. It's good to see him in second place. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? Probably. Catching Pataska is going to be a trick, but right now Veverovsky's got second place on lock. Dowd is very, very close, though. He really wants that second place position. Looking for the inside. He can't quite get it right now, but give it another couple turns. See what happens.
Yeah, Veverovsky already leaning a little bit to that middle line. A little bit higher up. That 7 machine of Dow doing a really good job keeping it nice and tidy down there by the paint. That's really going to pay off on the end of the run. So, see what's up as we got more movement. Warling getting passed by Wolf here into turn 3.
That's right. 2x2. Warling getting up into the wall, not able to hold on to the position. He's going to be giving it up right now to Wolf in the 314, the unmarked 314. There it goes. Nice clean pass. He's got the speed. He's got the position. He's keeping it up on the inside line. And here we go back again with the pack of 2 for a second. We're trying to look for some battles as they form here. The 78. That's Christian Challoner.
Challoner.
He's one of those guys that we expect to see moving up the list, but right now he could be in a tire saving game. It's one of those things where he's going to switch a flip. Ugh. He's going to flip a switch. That's only something you do in skateboarding, I'm pretty sure. He's going to flip a switch, and he's going to get back on that hard racing because we know he can do it.
See him make a move on the 9 machine of Morton.
That 9 machine coming back around here.
Just doing what we saw earlier, you know, probably out here trying to save a little bit of tire so he can be fast at the end of this run because you see how fast he carves through once you get 30 laps on the tires.
Once you get him in, he can carve. He's just it's his pace at that point, and the cars are working around him. Very impressive stuff. Here we go. That's the number 12. That's Ryan Steele now on the outside. He's losing a position, it looks like.
No, nope. He's gaining one, passing the 88 machine.
I was
Harris.
wrong.
Bow machine looking pretty good out here tonight. Running around the top 5 all evening, top 10.
Really has been. Now let's see if he can capitalize on that. And within these last 130 laps that we've got left, it's going to be time to capitalize a little bit. Try to keep yourself in those higher positions. Stay there, lock in, and be ready for that big push when we get down to those last 10 laps.
So far, got himself set up good. See his teammates back here. Oh, so we go back to Banfield in the 777.
Banfield's out. The 09 is in. It's Christian Abate.
Look at this. All these dog bear cars just in a row.
Well, it's a good sponsor. It looks even better on the car.
Solid team.
Well, the team, excuse me. Team name, not sponsor name. Blah. Brain fart.
Oh, you read the sponsor on the hood of that machine a little bit ago, actually.
I did. Yeah. That was Sarge, right?
Sarge's. Yep.
There we go. Sarge's veteran support.
Really cool sponsor, man. Really, really important cause as well.
Absolutely. We're here in the second half of the race. It might be a good time once again to remind folks that there are folks out there who need our help, and we have the ability to help them, so let's do what we can.
And speaking of which, we got a battle shaping up. Well, not speaking of which, but we got a battle shaping up for second place. The 7 machine of Dowd is here to the inside of Vorsky as they come down the back straightaway. Dowd going to dive it down here into turn 3, try and get the run, but Vorsky's going to fight back hard on that outside. That 10 machine pretty aggressive tonight, man.
He really has been. If you get anywhere near him, he starts snarling like a mad dog. That's what it kind of feels like. And now he's in a position where he's got a solid side-by-side race going. Ooh, gets the squeeze a little bit. Doesn't blink. Again, if you get right up on him, he's not going to blink. You're gonna have to outrace him. You're not going to get in his head.
He's up there running his line, run it nice and hard up there against the outside line. 7 going to back up the corner here, try to build a run coming out, try and get by him now. Nose diving it in, has not been helping him. Not able to get to connect, though, coming out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Vorski's going to pull away and hold the spot for now.
Not quite where he is at on the throttle, not quite able to get the run to stick as he's exiting. And I'm talking, of course, about Nathan Dowd here, because Vorsky is making that middle line look like it's his home. Absolutely. Ooh, what a hot exit right there from Vorsky. Might have actually thrown it a little bit hot into that turn for that upper line. But let's see how defensive he can be.
So far, so good. 7 Machine still trying to make the move. Now he's going to try and go up there to the top, build a run, kind of give it a late apex here so he can charge it down the straightaway. Helped him a little bit on that straightaway exit.
Going for the dive yet again. This time it might pay off.
Not quite.
The exit.
10 is just so good up there on that fence.
He really is. And there's something about that exit that the 7 just cannot figure out. I'm not sure if maybe he's rolling onto the throttle a little bit, like a half split second too late.
Ooh.
Or to keep his momentum up or something, but it feels like as soon as you get past the apex of that turn, it costs him just a little bit.
It's just so hard for him to get it done. And also you see the 10 now being defensive, bringing it down about a lane and a half, trying to pinch off that exit for the 7 Machine to make it harder for him to get by him, and it's doing him wonders down the straightaways. You see him fly by.
Really is. He's taking that position back. He's making it look more dominant. But he's got to hold on. Here we have the in-car from the 7. That wiggle you see that starts up when he goes onto the straight, that's him putting this foot all the way down and trying to hold that car steady as best he possibly can.
850 horsepower on tap, and you don't want to use every bit of them coming out the corner here.
No,
That's
these cars are built to turn left, but they will definitely try to turn right if you put all that power down at the same time. It's a weird feeling.
Such a tricky track, no banking. Well, a little bit of banking, but not much, and it just falls out instantaneously. Feels like you're going downhill when you come down the straightaways.
It really does. That banking gives way, and you are back to flat ground, and that flat ground is deceptively, it's right under you. It's a little bit of banking, but that it doesn't feel like any when you're on the track, and it feels like you're racing on a very flat track, even when you're flying into that turn.
It's such a fun place, though. Such a driver's track.
Yeah, I haven't been able to race an official race on here in these conditions, but doing the AI race with some pro level and higher level drivers, it really was a fun time. Very, very fun.
I will tell you, the officials do not go as straightforward as this, man. The official races, it feels like you can't avoid wrecking as you see the 7 Machine smack the fence there in the back straightaway.
It's fair. The official races are a little bit more haphazard. These hosted league races, wow! So far, some of the ones that I've been able to see, such professionalism at play. Here, we've had some very, very good driving tonight so far. I don't even feel bad saying it from a jinx it point of view. We've had some great driving. Back there, it's Vorsky. Now with a bit more of a solid lead. Dowd still not letting go. Got a 2 wide situation. Woo! Very close. That was Brenton in the 11 there, and the 777 of Ross Banfield. Banfield falling back a little bit from his other positions earlier. He was up earlier, and now it's Warling.
Look at how high of a line Challenger's running in 3 and 4. Kind of middle here in 1 and 2, but he is running all the way up there in the weeds, coming through 3 and 4, trying to a little bit of contact between Banfield and the 09 Machine.
I saw that. Let's watch that high line.
Everybody keeping it straight though.
Yeah. That's that professionalism at play. You get the contact, but you feel it. You know what's happening. You let the car work with it, and you keep the car straight.
Banfield looks like he just about gave a shot to the 09 machine of Abate coming in at turn 3.
He's trying his best not to, I can tell, but I'm pretty sure you're right that he probably did.
09's going to fall back here. He knows Banfield's quick. Oh, and Challenger gets coming out of turn 2, and Loose coming into 3.
Loose all over. I'm still watching the race and keeping my mind on the race, at least at the front. I'm watching it in my head. The camera's cut every once in a while over to Vevrovsky. He's still holding off Dow.
Dow diving it down here to the bottom, though. Vevrovsky's
just waiting for this to happen.
Really doing a good job getting it off the corner, though.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for this to happen, this switch to happen, but Vevrovsky off the corner is just a little bit better every time. Just a little bit. And of course, ahead of the two of them, it's Dallas Pataska, who has a 5-second lead. So we're not going to worry too much about Pataska right now, not until he gets into lap car traffic. You're doing good, Pataska. We don't have to worry about you. Where's the action at? This is where the action's at. A personal duel for second place between Vevrovsky and Dowd. 7 machine trying hard on the inside, but it just feels like there's not enough quite there under the hood. They're all driving Chevys.
At this point, if you're the 10 machine, you've probably forgotten the 7's even there. And if you're the 7, man, you just want to do anything you can to get that 10 out of your way.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, 10 machine's not even thinking about the 7 at this point. He knows he's got him. But that 7's got to be seething, just burning up. Wanting a little piece of something.
Here we go. 88 machine down the inside of the 12 of Steele. This is the battle for fourth place right now. Harris trying to get it back. You saw Steele pass him a little bit earlier on in the run. Harris looks like he's going to get it too.
It's one of Harris's best positions so far. We'll
really
see.
Good run for,
can he get it?
Really good run from both of these guys tonight. 295 laps in a race here at Richmond. You're running the top 5. You don't get much better than that.
No, not when you only got 100 laps to go. Laps to go, you're in the top 5. That means you've dodged any accidents that would have taken you out of the race. You've dodged getting lapped. You know, there's a lot of hazards in these long races. It seems like, yeah, it's just the hazardous time itself, but so much can get introduced that ruins your chances. And if you're just in the top 5 by the time you get to this point, you're in really good shape. Keep it up.
Such a good race. Yeah, with Warling still holding strong here, just outside of the top 5, sitting 6th spot, right behind Ryan Steele, 0.5 of a second back from him. It's really, I can't harp enough on, you know, how well he's shaped it up here in the mid stages of this race. You know, rough at the beginning of the run, or the tail end of the runs earlier, and now he's just really got it figured out. He's got a good little rhythm going, clicking off good laps. The best running of his teammates right now, too.
There he goes. The highest he's moved so far is 2nd place. And he was as low as 24th. He's been everywhere, this man.
24th,
as low as 24th,
last,
being last place.
There was a point where he'd taken an extra pit stop, if I remember correctly. Like, dude's really got it figured out here.
Yep, he can put himself all over the grid, and he's just going to be competitive pretty much wherever he ends up. Now, here we go. That's the unmarked 314 of Joshua Wolf, I think.
Yes, it is. And Banfield right behind him.
That's right. The 777 of Ross Banfield looking good. Down to the inside goes Banfield. He's putting it side by side.
Not quite able to get a connect. That outside line at this stage in the run, though, is so strong if you're trying to defend up there. Because there's so little grip to go around.
Right. That's 300 laps, by the way, out of 400. We have 100 left to go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to this Grid Vision broadcast. Just wanted to toss that in there and say it's great to have you here. If you're listening, if you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Whoa!
Oh, no.
I tried to be nice to everybody, and then he goes and wrecks himself? Sebastian Jackson, why?
He's been fighting a really loose hot rod all night. It's been very impressive that he's actually been able to keep it under him as long as he has.
Well, let's see the moment that he wasn't able to.
Comes on the back straightaway, goes to give it, get it on the loud pedal, and next thing you know, it's around. And that's just that's a hopeless feeling.
The loud pedal is loud.
Comes out. You're going to be able to tell with the wheel here. A little bit of counter steer, and yeah, just couldn't get it to right.
Wow.
That's
wow.
That's going to be engine damage too, I'm sure.
Well, with that, folks, we're going to let these guys line it up in the pits, and we're going to line it up in the commercial break. This is Grid Vision. We'll be right back.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
And we're back with the green flag at the exact same time here at the Rock and Roll 400, brought to you by Grid Vision Major Series. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth by Sheldon Adkins. Welcome back, Sheldon. And I'm also joined by Austin Derbyshire up in the producer's booth. Thank you very much, Darby, for putting up the graphics on screen and taking care of us tonight. We've got about 92 laps left out of this set here. And we've got Dylan Pataska. I keep saying Dylan. Dallas Pataska. It's so much easier to remember. Dallas Pataska still in the lead, still holding it down. Vevrosky right behind him, though, with that yellow. It's going to squeeze things down a little bit again. But every time we've seen this happen, Dallas Pataska just pulls away. So the question is, when is that going to happen here? When is he? Is it going to be immediately? Is Vevrosky going to keep up with him a little bit?
It's been pretty immediate. He's already pulled out to a 7/10 of a second lead over Vevrosky in second. Vevrosky, I did not have the 10 car as a top 5 competitor the first, quarter of this race. And man, he like I said, man, some of these guys have really flipped the switch here in the midsection of this thing and gotten incredibly fast out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
we've
he's on
seen
that
at least
list.
a few people do it.
I'd put Harris on that list. Dowd. I mean, I didn't really think much of Dowd earlier, and Warling. Steele. I mean, Steele's been running up there and in exactly where he's at all night. Same with Challoner. Challoner kind of lost a little bit of speed there on the back end of that last run, so curious to see how this goes now with everybody on match stuff.
Yeah, everyone on match stuff is exactly right. If I look down at the pit lap, almost every single person pit on 303, with the exception of a few people there. Brenton Foster, Wayne Hutchinson, Abate. Those guys decided not to pit. A few others decided not to pit. We still got some guys back on tires from 241. So there is a lot of difference here, but most of the guys at the front are on fresh tires. So that's going to even out the playing field up at the front. The guys at the back, they better hurry up. We could very well go green the rest of the way here. So with no more chances to take tires on a yellow on the horizon, I'm expecting to see some things, some tire strategies not pay off for a few of these guys.
Right now, though, same thing as we saw earlier. Pataska is gone, 2 seconds away. So we can count him out of the picture for the time being. So we got one heck of a battle shaping up. You see the 9 machine of Morton starting to work his way back up through here. He's in 8th spot up there on the top, passing Steele for 7th. Right behind Challoner, who's in the middle of a battle with the 90 of Warling.
Challoner gets that position now. He's in 5th. Ooh, 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th. It jumps back and forth a couple of times here. But I think Challoner's going to come away with it. Yep, here on the outside, just enough speed. He's got it. Clear.
No, not quite. Still there on the bottom.
Oh, I thought he had it.
Oh, just about 3 wide coming out of turn 2, though.
Oh my goodness. And back there, the number 9 of Justin Morton still holding on to that line. He just wants whatever speed he can leech off of him.
Challoner, move him up to P5 now, back up into the top 5 after a dry spell for a decent stint. So we see the 11 machine and the 09 machine here on pit road.
Interesting.
Maybe a little bit of fuel strategy.
That might be a good point. Get fuel now. You don't need any for the rest of the run potentially.
Well, we are at that window where they were pitting earlier to the end.
That's true.
So.
We are in a fuel window at this point. Let's see how it plays out.
You see Banfield getting by Warling now on the top.
Banfield, again, one of those yo-yoing drivers who's gone from the middle top pack to the bottom middle pack to the middle pack. He's jumped around everywhere. He's been up in the top, he's been in the bottom, but he still seems to have just enough oomph to be challenging for that top 5 finish.
Yeah, I think he's turning it on now. He knows he's run out of laps, wants to get up there and get some track position. And, oof. Oh, huge block to the inside for the 88 machine of Harris. Harris.
Yep.
I don't know.
Big block. So we got him 2 wide there, almost 3. Justin Morton just resisting a bit, putting the car right between, though he gets the inside now.
Oh, and here comes Challoner to the back bumper of the 88 machine of Harris coming out of turn 2. Dived in a little bit deeper here into turn 3. Get right up there, tucked up under him. Roll off it, try to drive it off the corner. Not gonna get quite as good a run out as Harris though.
Not quite. He still wants it. He's just wants it, but it's not quite enough speed.
The 88 machine, your points leader on the season currently. All over the back end of that 88 machine.
Samuel Harris holding down third place. He's up 5 positions from 8th from where he started this off. He's going to be trying, just like anybody at this point in the race, this is where the hardest driving is going to start to seep into a lot of these drivers. This is going to where things are going to click into place and switch on.
Where the aggression's really going to start to ramp up too.
Exactly. We're going to see people switch into a mode, and that mode is going to start to show itself, hopefully with no yellow flags, but with some faster driving and a few more overtakes here and there.
It's weird to see oh, we got a yellow.
Oh.
Ooh,
Sebastian
right in front of these
Jackson.
guys. Yeah, once you get that thing loose and wreck it the first time, it's just worse for the rest of the night. It's down in there, gets loose again.
The exact same maneuver.
It's
Now
one
he's
of
going
those-
to have something in his head.
I think he was in his head, and I think he's towed it off for the night. See him just dive down in there, and once you make that mistake once, it's easier to do it a second time, especially once you got the car tore up. There might be some suspension damage in there that kind of assisted with that this go around.
Yep.
Everybody coming in right now. This is really going to hurt those guys that came in trying to be smart with the strategy.
Yeah, once again, we're back on a flat playing field here for a lot of these guys.
Those two that came in and pit there, they're going to be stuck a lap down. Looking like it. Nathan Dowd, 5-second pit stop. Must have taken 2 or taken none at all. Whole top 3. Either nothing or 2. Hard to determine from up here in the booth. Quick times, though. 5 seconds. Just enough for a top off there.
Not much more you can do than that in 5 seconds.
I couldn't even do that in 5 seconds, man. Hats off to the pit crews this week.
Yeah, no kidding. Working hard with their invisibility cloaks securely fastened.
Heck, it takes me more than that just to get the lid off a bottle of water.
That's the struggle.
Yeah,
That's where
it's
the
rough
real
sometimes,
struggle's
man.
at.
Then you got to put it back on. You cross-thread the thing. You don't know about it, and you accidentally knock it over, and then boom, water all over the desk.
Sploosh.
It's terrible.
Lap 328 under caution. Out of 400, going to have just a little over 70 laps to go. It's been a nice race so far. A lot of green flag racing stretches. Just a little bit of yellow here and there. It's been a good mix of the two. I'd say a healthy mix.
Pretty solid,
But as-
clean race.
It has been. But as things go on, as you pointed out, as the night gets on and as the rubber gets put down and things get closer to the finish line, there's going to be a touch more aggression. Just a touch out of every corner of this race. And that's going to start to add up. So hopefully if that aggression adds up, we don't see more of these yellows. Hopefully we just see some nice, strong racing. But only one way to tell. With the lights out in the pace car.
Lights out. Pace
Time
car,
will tell.
pace car getting ready to dive her in here. We're going to have 71 laps to the end of this bad boy.
Yay.
Mixed bag of strategy up here at the front.
Yep, I see that. We got a lot of people on Most people on lap 325. The first 12 cars all have tires from lap 325 right now. And it's off. And I hear the revving of the engine, and we are green yet again at the Rock and Roll 400.
Dowd with a
Crossing the
really
line
good
first.
launch.
That's Dowd.
Dowd with a
What a
really good
start.
launch, but not good enough. Banfield's all over him coming out of turn 2, and right behind him, you got the guy that has dominated this thing from flag to flag so far. So 23
It's
making quick
Pataska.
work of him. Pataska up there on the top line.
He's got the line. He's got the line. He's got the throttle control, and he's got the tires now that are going to propel him toward the front. He's got also the competition for the first time in a long time, since he's had it off of most launches so far too. This is the first launch he's had where he started a little bit back, besides the start of the race, where I think actually, he started in first place. This is the first time that he's had direct competition in this race so far.
And watch them come
And
down
now
here in
he's
turn
in
3.
first.
Watch Challenger.
Watching
Okay, he
this.
didn't do it this lap, of course, because I mentioned it. Man, he was all the way up against the fence, knocking the marbles off of the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Last lap, dude is... I don't think there's a line that guy hasn't been tonight. So you see him diving back down to the bottom here to get to the back end of the 7 of Dowd as Pataska has eclipsed the leader at the restart of this thing and started to pull away.
Yep, we're back into Pataskaville here a little bit.
And Challenger with a dive down to the bottom on the inside of the 7 of Dowd into turn 1. Going to make quick work of him. Move Challenger
got
up in
it.
second place.
And now they're on the same tire situation. We'll see if he can close the gap between himself and Dallas Pataska. It looks like the gap is widening just a little bit as Pataska yet again shows us why he is the dominator for tonight's race.
Yeah, he's just been on a rail from the start of this thing on to now. Dude has a rocket ship and he's not afraid to show it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And look at that. Pravorsky back up to third place. With right behind him, Morton's back up here into the fray.
All right. That's a name we haven't seen in the top 3 in a while. He's in 4th right now. Could be putting on the moves to squeeze past Vavrosky. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, this is the best
He's
at 9
got eyes on
machines. This is the best at 9 machines been looking since that first run.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he's got eyes on the inside here. He's signaling for it. We'll see if he can take it.
I'll tell you what,
He's
I can't
got-
think of anything harder to do here tonight than pass that 10 machine, though. He has been so hooked up on the outside line.
You're absolutely right, my friend. You're absolutely right. And he's got the line, he's got the entry down. It's just that the 10 has got such good exits out of his turns, and he leaves his turn with such momentum that catching him is really, really an uphill battle.
And that's because he's run up there on the top. He can get to the gas a little bit sooner. He doesn't have to put as much wheel into it. It's a little bit better. It's worse for the tires because you end up chattering them a little bit worse. But it is good for getting a launch down the straightaway.
It looks like it's not paying off against Morton here, who has closed the gap, has the inside pretty. Sorry about
This-
that.
So hard to
Lost
pass
you
there
for
on
a
the
second.
bottom. So hard to pass there on the bottom, though.
It really
need
is. It's
every-
persistence.
Yeah, you need every inch of the racetrack to be able to get it done. And when you get a car up there, well, you can't use every inch.
No, you really can't. It's a matter of persistence and having a better line. And it looks like that persistence is going to pay off eventually here for Justin Morton. But you've got to be persistent, and you've got to not don't try anything. Don't do anything fancy. Don't do anything goofy. Just maintain that lower line and drive it fast. See if it pays off. And eventually it might.
See him trying. He's getting close. He's closer than anybody else has been on that bottom trying to pass the 10 tonight.
Yeah, I'm noticing that too.
Being stuck down there, having to run closer to the bottom all the way through the track, especially on the straightaway, not letting it, being able to let it, carry itself up the track. You end up tearing up the tires a little bit more.
Yeah, he is driving very hard right now on those tires, trying his best.
I think he's going to get it here in 1 and 2. No, 10 comes down with a little bit of a pinch. He's going to hold the 9 off.
That pinch is killing him. It's getting in his head just a little bitty bit.
Man, that camera was making me dizzy.
He got it.
Oh, but here comes the 10 with the crossover down to the bottom. What's he going to do? A little bit of a door. He makes contact here into turn 1. They both keep it together, though.
That was the one thing the 9 did not do to the 10 was door him out of the way. And now the 10 is down on the inside looking to use his body weight potentially to throw the 9 out of the way.
The 9 is going to pinch him as hard as he possibly can, which that's never a good combination. And here they come, a little bit of contact again in 1 and 2.
Oof, this is a heck of a battle.
Oh, and the 10's going to slide up. Can't get the power down, though. I think 9's going to pull him here. Not as much as I thought.
10's trying really hard to hold down that inside line, but he keeps sliding up on it. Again, there he goes.
Yeah, 10's just not set up for the low line. Move Morton up into P3 now.
Yeah, come on. Push him, will you?
Look at how much time he lost to Challoner trying to pass that 10 machine.
Oh, wow. Challoner now 6 seconds ahead almost. Oh, excuse me. Morton is about 4 seconds behind Challoner. Pataska is 7 seconds ahead of Nathan Dowd. Let's see he's only a 1.5 seconds ahead of Challoner right now.
Challoner really coming alive here in the late stages of this event.
He is. He's the only person who's been able to put the screws to Pataska's overall gap.
1.4 seconds back right now. Gap isn't really gaining or closing too much.
We'll have to wait and see as we approach lap 350.
Hey, coincidentally, this is the longest we've seen Challoner run the bottom all night, too.
Hey, you're right. He has been a middle rope guy.
Yep. As we see Wolf on the outside of the 3 machine. 3, a couple laps down. Right behind his teammate, 7 to Dowd.
Yeah, it's Daniel Stevens there in the 3 machine.
He's had a rough night. He's ready to get away from Richmond, I can tell you that.
I think after 400 laps, most of these drivers are probably ready to get away from Richmond.
Anything, I can guarantee you their wrists are.
Yeah.
This hurts.
1, 2, 3.
You see all the evil box cars, too, kind of out of character for how they ran most of the night. Now they're at the tail end of the pack. Fortunate situation for all of them. They've been fast all night.
Well, sometimes you can't win them all.
A little bit of a battle here. Wolf on the inside of the 7 machine.
Wolf and Dowd. Passing it up, and then behind them, that's Hutchinson and Banfield. Oh, no, it's not. It's Hutchinson and,
Nick Kuhn.
what car number is that? Thank you.
It's Stevenson, Nick Kuhn.
Stevenson. Doug, thank you.
And right behind him is Gavin Barber, and Hutchinson's in 9th right now. Handful of lap cars in the mix. Move Wolf in front of Dowd, though.
He's gonna murder him. Let's see what happens. I got a feeling that Dowd
Teammates,
is
I'm
gonna
not
put the
expecting
screws
too
to
much
him.
chaos.
That's fair. That's fair. I just know how hard Dowd has been racing this race so far, and I got a feeling he's not going to want to give up a position, even to his teammate. But
Yeah, 2 tires on that last pit stop. It's not paid off for him, that's for sure. Hasn't worked for any of these guys, actually.
any of the 2-tire strat guys, they haven't really seen the payoff from it. That would have been nice. But unfortunately, that big brain strat did not work out.
Oh, Sam Harris is all over the back end of Avorsky right now, coming out turn 4. Battle for 4th place, starting to heat up. Avorsky running up there on the top line like we've seen him do all night. Harris down there on the inside. I mean, this is pretty much textbook when it comes to the 10 machine and fighting here. Pete going for a little bit of a diamond here, coming out turn 4. 10 still going to be able to get the power down a little bit better.
He's trying. That's Verovsky. He doesn't want to give up any more positions. He went from 2nd now down to 4th, which is where he started the race.
Yeah, Harris doing a really good job in that Kingsman Chevrolet tonight. And sneaking into the picture here, we got Verwayen. Lap down. Handful of laps down.
Yeah, he's down a little bit.
Quite a bit.
He's 22 laps.
He's going to get in here and drive himself past his teammate. Hopefully.
I do like that how their cars are matched Christmas colors, kind of.
Yeah.
The red and green stripe. It looks really classy, I got to admit.
Here comes Sam Harris fighting back out of turn 2, getting a really good launch off the corner.
Let's look for it again. Can he use it to his advantage?
He's going for that late arc. I feel like he needs to bring it down a little more to the bottom, though, to be able to maximize on it, but see him go for a deep dive down into turn 1.
Yep, put that nose right at the apex way early on that one.
Eventually, somebody's going to get tired of the 10 running so hard on the outside line. Shove a door to him.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually. You think it's going to be, yeah. I mean, I can't think of anybody doing it intentionally. He's been driving pretty clean as long as you don't get near him.
Well, I mean, eventually, though, you get fed up being stuck there on the bottom and somebody racing like crazy up there on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's short track. Tempers are short. We got a just a little bit way to go now. Just a little short of 35 laps.
Let's talk about something interesting happening also up front. The gap is less than a second between Dallas with Pataska and Christian Challoner. Christian's been closing the gap.
He is clicking it off. It was a second, 1.1 seconds the last lap. Now it's down to 0.98 at the line. Challoner setting off some really good lap times here, really reeling in Pataska. Could this be a late race upset? Has Challoner been sandbagging?
It kind of feels like it is. Kind of feels like he took the weights out of the vehicle and now he's ready to show us how fast he can really go. Because he is closing that gap. And behind him, it's Justin Morton is a little further back even. But Challoner being a second off pace for a guy who...
just about sideways. Vavorsky, he lost the 3rd spot, but the 4th spot, and just about lost more than that. Was dead sideways coming out of turn 2 and did a great job saving it. I hope we have a potential replay on deck for that. That was a tremendous piece of driving to keep it under him.
Beautiful. We'll see what we can get put together, hopefully. As we go around and around.
You see him getting overtaken now by Brian Steele here. Let's see what we got
Here's the replay.
on board up there on the top. Harris on his inside. Coming out of turn 4. Harris, a little bit of contact going into turn 1. Dvorsky brings it down the track a little bit. 3 wide with a lapper. Goes to get to the loud pedal, and it just comes around on him. And a great job saving that thing. Because that should have been a hit to the inside wall.
And it was not, thanks to the great driving of Dvorsky.
Tremendous.
Excuse me, Dvorsky. Thank you.
Tremendous job keeping that thing under him. As we get back to that battle for the lead that is looming.
It is
Challenger
looming
9.
ever closer. It's down to 0.8 tenths of a second. It's down to 0.8 tenths of a second now. It is looming ever closer. The big battle that's on its way is on its way, and we've only got about 30 laps left before it's going to strike. 28 laps now.
Yeah, Challenger doing a really good job keeping that thing steady, not getting too much of the gas, not too much of the brake. Really done a good job keeping those tires under them.
Are we looking at any lap traffic situations yet?
No, we got one lapper way out there, a couple seconds in front of Pataska.
Gotcha. That's the 80s. That's the
8 of
which
her way
car
in.
is that?
We're way in the 8 machine.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I think he's on fresher tires. I don't think that's really going to come back to Challenger. Or sorry, Pataska.
Well,
So way to
I think
go.
you're right. If his tires are fresh, he should just be able to hold out front there for a little while. Watching the chase here. There goes the 78. That's Challenger. Coming around. Man, we're so close here now. These two just racing each other out. Got to imagine Pataska's not even paying him any heed right now. He doesn't need to think about it for another few seconds here.
23.156 from Pataska there, a 23.14 from Challenger in second place. Getting them, reeling them in, but by the hundredths, not the tenths.
Yeah. Game of hundredths, not even a game of inches. Hundredths of a second.
A little bit of trouble for Challenger there in turn 3, though. Got a little bit tight.
Every one
still-
of those, man.
1/100th a second lap faster that lap. 178 to 188. Move the advantage again to Challenger.
It's only a matter of time. It's a battle of attrition, but that attrition is going to run out on him real soon here. Because we're almost on lap 380 with almost 20 to go. Very
That's a
close.
significantly better lap for Challenger. If you're Pataska at this point, you're sweating.
Eyes
You
open,
haven't had a
buddy.
You haven't had to defend from anybody all night. Now you look in your mirror and you see that white GM Goodrich copycat paint scheme behind you. Yeah,
Yep.
the great
You start
lever,
to see that little dot.
great lever assistance plus machine of Challenger.
Looks like Pataska took back that lap just a bit.
Oh, Challenger with a very, very slidey entry to turn 3 there.
Not what we like to see. We don't want slidey. We don't want slidey entrances to turns.
But still, just a little bit quicker, 100th that time. Got that little bit back.
Time will tell, and that time is closing in. 380 out of 400 officially here on the Major Series Rock and Roll 400. There is a battle for first, folks, but it's a stretched out one. That's taking its time. It's like watching honey battle as it drips slowly out of the jar. It's just a slow moving process, but it will eventually get it all. And that's kind of what's happening here. between Challenger and Pataska. Although I gotta say, if I'm getting into the nitty-gritty, Challenger is losing speed.
Yeah, I think that we're getting to that point now where we see Patasco take off and just run with it.
Just run with it. Just hold on to it. The ticker is going back up. The time is increasing between the two cars.
Oh, Nathan Dowd really slow out of turn 2.
Down
Got
slotted too.
just lost 2 spots in one straightaway to Banfield and Warling.
Oof.
I don't know what happened to him there.
Oh, he lost it. Yeah, he got really loose.
Yeah, he is. That thing is
And it cost
evil.
him a bunch of speed.
That thing is absolutely evil for him right now. Such a shame because he ran such a great race.
I was this many years old when I realized that those evil body cars are driving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles colors.
You know, I've been wondering all race. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's Turtles colors.
that's pretty sick.
Pretty sure.
Should probably gone with green as a base for that.
Yeah. One of them is green, and that's why it was throwing me off a little bit. But I think the rest of them are appropriately colored.
I mean, I'm just wondering, is there a gray one somewhere?
No.
Master Splinter?
No Master Splinter. Sad day. Seems like a wasted opportunity.
My night's been ruined.
Nice spin. Yep, that's it. Pack it up. We're going to have to run it back.
Yep.
Lap 1. Need a gray
Taskus.
car with a Master Splinter motif on it.
Task has turned the heat back on, though, stretching out that advantage. He's had a handful of better laps here than Challenger in second. I just think Challenger doesn't have what he needs to really get it done here at the end stage of this race. Task is just so good once we get, 30-plus laps on the tires.
Well, we're definitely there at this point. These guys are going to be racing these last 12 laps without stopping for sure. So whoever's got whatever your tire strategy is, you're locked in. There is no going back at this point. The door to safety is shut.
Right now, if you're Pataska 2, you are praying that nobody loops it, nobody hits the fence, nothing happens.
Yeah,
You
just
don't
drive
wanna-
the car, boys.
You don't want a late race yellow. You don't want to come down and take a chance on pit road. You don't want to have to do any of that. You just want this thing to finish out. Oh, we got one in the fence. You're on
Who
the
is
front
it?
straightaway.
Stevens in the fence. That's Daniel Stevens in the 3.
I think it was his teammate a couple cars back. You're good.
That's okay. Barber was the one who hit the wall there, it sounds like. With
A little bit of contact.
9 laps to go. What a race it's been. Oh, makes me want to reflect a little bit. We've had some ups, we've had some downs. A lot of ups in the form of a lot of green flag racing, a few downs in the form of a few spins and spin outs, but not as many as you'd think. This has been if you want to race top tier racing and you want it to be the top tier experience you were always hoping for, folks, it sounds like the Major Series is the series to sign up for here. This is Major's Top Split Racing, and it is impeccable.
These guys have put on a great show tonight.
Just
Bit of a
beautiful.
walk-off for Pataska there in the lead, man, but it's been good, clean racing throughout the field. Only a handful of cautions for 400 laps at Richmond. I mean, it feels like when we do this in the official series, we get 400 caution for a handful of laps at Richmond. So,
Yeah, you want some coffee with that cream is really what it feels like. But here,
Yeah.
exact opposite. Perfect cup.
good race. Harris and Morton with a really good late race comeback to get themselves up here in the top 5. Running good, both of them. Ryan
Challenger
Steele.
got his 9 places. Steele, yeah. Steele got 9 places too.
He's been the gatekeeper for the top 5 all night, just sitting around 5th and 6th. Hope to see him bring
I
the thing
ride
back home.
Steele. I am the gatekeeper. You will not pass me. I am Ryan Steele, the gatekeeper. Wow.
Hope to see him bring that dog bear machine back home in the top 5. That was absolutely brain rot.
The gatekeeper.
Harris looking a little bit nervous here as we get to the last handful of laps, though. A little loose coming out of the
And-
corners.
But Pataska is also approaching lap traffic, and he's just giving them all the room that he can.
But
Just
you got
reeling them
5
out a little bit with 5 to go.
5 to go. You got 2 seconds to play with behind you. Now, none of these guys that he's getting to right now are going to be a problem. You know, too much of a problem. These guys have been running pretty good tonight. The 09 machine, right there behind him, was a top 10 car.
Yeah.
Strategy didn't play out the way he was hoping it would. And you got the evil box cars in front of him. I mean, those guys have been really clean all night. So nobody wants to come out here and. Nobody wants to come out here and, you know, wreck the guy that has dominated this thing from flag to flag, especially when you get to the last handful of laps.
Oh, that'll be all anybody remembers is if you wreck the lead and you weren't on the lead after 400 laps of racing. That'll be the only thing anybody remembers about this race, and you don't want it to be for that reason. Definitely not. Definitely not. 3 laps left to go. We only had a couple of cars with gremlins in them tonight, cars that had a few repeat accidents, and unfortunately they got taken out of the race due to all of those repeat accidents. We had Robert Northway and Sebastian Jackson. Those are 2 guys that got taken out. Specifically, William Fletcher also got taken out due to some repeated issues, but we're glad that the rest of the race looks like it went pretty well for the rest of them. That's only 4 cars down. We still got 20 cars on the road. That's pretty good for 400 laps. With 2 to go, white flag is out at Richmond right now. Pataska in the lead. Let's break it down. Let's give you your top 5. Dallas Pataska, Christian Challoner, Justin Morton, Samuel Harris, and Ryan Steele are in your top 5 as we cross the finish line here. It's the Rock and Roll 400. It's nighttime. It's beautiful Richmond, and that's the race. Dallas Pataska takes it away with a dominating victory. Absolutely dominating victory. Christian Challoner, 2nd place, and in 3rd place, it's Justin Morton. We're going to break it down for you folks. The full results here at Richmond. Whew! 400 laps. Take a breath. Breathe out. It is time to stretch. Undo those spines. What a race. And here come the unofficial results. Dallas Pataska in 1st place. 2nd, Christian Chandler. 3rd, Justin Morton. 4th, Samuel Harris. 5th, Ryan Steele. 6th, Trevor Vavrosky. 7th, Wayne Hutchinson. 8th, Joshua Wolf. 9, Ross Banfield. And 10th, Travis Warling.
11th place, you got Brian McGreevy, followed by Nathan Dowd in the 7 machine. 11th is going to be Brenton Foster with Christian Abate in 14th. 15th is going to be Nick Kuhn, followed by Dan Stevens. Joseph Homan is going to be 17th. 18th is going to be Gavin Barber. 19th place is going to be Brian Scribner. And running at your top 20 is going to be Stephen Verwayen.
And back bottom of the list, 21st, Sebastian Jackson. 22nd, Robert Northway. 23rd, William Fletcher. And 24th, Robert Gamble.
Man, what a race.
Woo.
400 laps. And these guys maybe only did 25 caution laps. That is impressive. From the track that the Pro Series can't get 10-lap runs. These guys brought it home. I think the answer for all of our problems is in the car. Give us high horsepower back. Take away the downforce.
Give us 800 horses again. Let's get back out there. Get rid of the rear differential, the split rear diff. And so what we'll do now, though, is we will celebrate watching Dallas Pataska write his name, and we're going to take it to commercial. We'll come right back after that with just a little bit more from Richmond Raceway on Grid Vision. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Richmond Raceway. Grid Vision fans, it's me, Joe LaCastro. We're here up in the booth after the race, post-race special with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire. Hi, Sheldon. Welcome back. And wow, we are going to take it really quick over to an interview with our winner. I'm going to have a chat with Dallas Pataska, who completely smashed this race tonight. Dallas, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, all right. What a absolutely dominating, what a killer victory tonight. Congratulations on that victory. You were in the lead for most of the race. You had the pole and you took it from there to the finish. Can you tell us a little bit about those long stretches, a little bit of what was going through your head in the middle when you were holding on to the lead with a good 7 or 8 second lead there? What was your strategy?
Yeah, it was just to keep my mind sharp, trying to put more cars a lap down, give myself an easier chance later in the race if we had more cautions or whatever, just, give myself more breathing room to cars behind me. Balance was great, so really can't complain there. It was just a blast to drive. The last run kind of scared me a little bit because Christian's just a beast with the tires on the long run. I definitely burned him up on the short run. Thankfully, I had enough time to recover, but it was pretty close. I've never driven out of corners with so little throttle before. But overall, no, it was a blast. I'm just really glad that we were able to get some long green flag runs in. This track and especially this combination is so much fun, especially when you get those long green flag runs.
Absolutely. There was only one moment in there toward the end. We had that restart where you were maybe back in like 3rd or 4th, and that was the only time that you were kind of in the pack, so to speak. It wasn't really much of a pack, but can you tell us about that restart? Was there anyone that you were watching out for, or any moments when you were in the pack that sort of stood out to you?
Definitely Christian behind me. I mean, he's certified Oval Pro. Like he's the guy I had to watch out for the whole race. So I wanted to get clear of everyone in front of us before he did. I was able to do so and have a little bit of a gap that I ended up needing later on. I wasn't sure how it was going to work being on the top side, but turns out the car turns really well up there, at least on cold tires. So it worked out pretty well, and here we are.
Awesome. That's really, really great. Well, congratulations on your victory tonight. There was a long race, and I'm looking forward to more victories for you in the near future, my friend. Very, very good job.
Thank you.
All right. You take care. Have a good rest of your night. Okay, and we've actually got 3rd place's Justin Morton here in the booth as well. Sheldon, would you like to talk to Justin Morton?
Yep, I got him. So Justin, a bit of an up and down night for you tonight. Started off the first, to the first caution on that first run. You were running P2, looking really strong out there, flexing your muscles. Then after that first yellow, it seemed like you kind of lost the magic for a little bit. Every strategy move you made looked like you got snake bit by it somehow. How'd you turn around and right the ship there to get a top 3 finish here at the end of the night?
A lot of hard work, a lot of frustration. Yeah, it's just trying to keep my head down and not dig myself into a bigger hole. I knew if I was just driving too hard, I would kill my tires, which would make my long run, which would lead to, in the long term, going more laps down. Yeah, that was really frustrating having 3 straight cautions just go the completely wrong way for me and have to take the wave around 3 times in a row. Would have been nice to not have to do that during the run of the race, since I feel like I might have had some pace long run on Christian just to be able to challenge him. But I never really quite got that chance at the end of the race. But getting back up to P3 was a nice sigh of relief.
Yeah, I mean, look, finishing Richmond with all 4 fenders still in the car is a win in itself. The way it can go here on the sim sometimes, but a top 3 after 400 miles is pretty dang good. No, sorry, I've watched 400 miles of Richmond, so give me here.
I just drove it.
God, yeah, you poor thing, man. How are the wrists feeling right now? That's an important.
Yeah, the wrists are pretty good. It's the shoulders that aren't feeling tight
yeah.
right now, just from being pretty tense that entire time. That car is really tricky to drive here. wants to spin the tires the entire way down the quad oval, or not quad oval, the tri oval, which is feeling constantly tense the entire way around the track. But I don't know, it's good fun racing these cars.
So what do you think that it was that Dallas found tonight? Because he was just on rails all night. Like, that dude was gone.
Yeah, Dallas is a great driver, so there's that. I think he was a peak driver at one point, so you know he has the skill to be a really great oval driver, and he's shown that over the years in majors. But he also does the setup work for Majors Garage. At least I'm pretty sure he did the setup work for Majors Garage on the Gen 4 car this week. So he probably had a lot of extra practice, and he knew the ins and out of the setup. So I think there was a lot of that, but I think a lot of that goes to being a really talented driver.
Yeah, he definitely had. And you were looking pretty good there too tonight, man. Anybody you want to thank for this top 3 performance?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Majors Garage first off for the setup. That was a great setup, probably one of the best driving cars I've had for the Gen 4 in a long time. Shout out to Brian Scribner. He had, my teammate, he had a toe link or something break on his car at one point. That kind of finished his race off, but he was pretty happy to be able to make it top split and run with the big boys. Thanks to all the admins that run this league. I love running here. It's one of my favorite leagues. And just all the work that they put in over the season and for each and every race. And thank you guys for doing a broadcasting. You do a fantastic job.
Hey, man, we appreciate you guys too, the drivers. You guys put on a great show tonight and a really clean one. So go ahead, get yourself settled down, go get yourself a nice ice bath or something, get that shoulder, calm down a little bit, a little ibuprofen, and have yourself a good night, man.
Thank you.
We'll get them next time.
Well, all right. That brings our broadcast to a close for tonight. Sheldon, you got any final words for the people?
Man, I came here expecting attrition. I came here expecting short track tempers and dog fights. And I'll tell you what, we did not really get to see any of that, man. It was a really good, clean 400-mile show here from one of my favorite tracks in the world. Looking forward to getting another opportunity to cover one of these races for majors because they always put on one heck of a show. But here's our schedule coming up this week. Take it, Joe.
Looks good. Here is the weekly schedule for Grid Division. On Monday, we've got Ryko Performance Top Split from Darlington Raceway. A couple of break days until Thursday when Texas Motor Speedway High Slide Truck Series over at Texas. And then once more, Darlington. We're going to do Ryko on Friday. So a good week of racing coming up from Grid Vision. If you would like to have your league broadcast on Grid Vision, we got plenty of slots available. Go ahead and reach out. As you've seen, we do a pretty good job, I think. I had a great time. I really enjoy calling races with you, my friend Sheldon. And thank you up to the booth, Austin Derbyshire. We really appreciate you too and all the work that you do, and you, the fans. Thank you for tuning in, listening, watching, whatever you might be doing. And spread the word of Grid Vision. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening.